Help!
Hep, hep,
Ship it. Drip. Boop. It's a pretty good start. I feel like it's
Yeah,
a good way to.
we could do the whole stream like
Hut,
that.
drip.
Hep,
Hut,
hep.
Drip. Boop.
There's kind of a lot of that in Kurosawa movies. Just a lot of,
Grunts.
just a lot of. Yeah, it's not even language. It's just a lot. Of,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I always walk around after watching a Kurosawa movie with my shoulders out just a little bit. I feel broader.
Man, there was a shot where he turned around. I was like, that's a large-shouldered. I mean, he's just a broad man.
Yeah.
And he also just he kind of Fern. He kind of
Hello.
He kind of like accentuates it, and his clothes accentuate it
Yeah.
as well. But he also just like, kind of.
Oh yeah, that like his outfit whenever he's inside the castle without any gear.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's badass.
shoulder pads out to here, and then those awesome like pants.
Yes.
I think is what they are.
He's got really sweet duds.
He looks like
They're called duds.
a He-Man doll, like in proportions.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So they got their proportions from Toshiro Mifune.
Yeah, it's also very fancy. It's a very fancy.
Yeah.
He's like he took some really nice curtains.
And he was like, put those on me.
Yeah.
All right.
And he was like, huh? He
Shade.
spends the entire movie going like this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think
Great.
about 2 days in, his face just got stuck like that.
And they're like,
oh, right.
Oh boy. Oh, stream hasn't even started yet. Deal with it. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Got
Yeah.
that sub. Does look completely different in those three movies. I would agree with that.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's like my new. It's silly to say he's my new favorite actor, but or my new favorite actor, but he's been a real revelation.
What's up, Tarkovsky? Filmography on a Wednesday, indeed, and there's probably gonna be filmography on a Wednesday next week, and then we'll go
Yeah.
back to Monday. We're trying to lose everyone.
Yeah,
We're trying to just kind of like,
we're like views.
Yeah,
yeah.
We-
Bat him away.
we hit the thing and like drop all the oil slick and then the marbles, and then we go juke.
There's like, guess what? 7 p.m., 8:30.
Thank you. Yep. Yes. Fern, thank you for those 4 months. Thank you for those 4 months. What's up, God Games? Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Filmography, the show that starts whenever we want, and we talk about whatever is anything but the topic.
And
Welcome.
we make no apologies
No
for it.
apologies, except this tacit apology that I'm sort of making.
Oh, you're about to.
No, I'm not. I'm just like acknowledging it as almost like I'm not apologizing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
Might be slow to respond. Cleaning your suit for an interview tomorrow.
Oh.
What kind of suit? Throwing of blood too. Nice. Yep. You know what a biatch. What? All you need to do is hire some snipers to shoot your viewers as they approach. Ah.
And then just like, pull on their earlobe, just yank on their hair a little bit.
Yeah. And then we're like,
Like, you're just mean. You're just a mean person.
yeah. There are viewers coming, and they're dressed as they're holding trees. Shoot the trees. Shoot at the trees.
Oh, man, that was awesome. This movie's great. It's got this magical realism thing going on for it that I was way into.
Yeah.
And I think one of my... Well, should we just get into it?
Sure. Yes.
I'll just say, like, one of my favorite things is how this all... Oh,
Spoiler.
Nice. That's great.
Spoiler.
One of my favorite things about this movie is, like, kind of the cat... They meet... Like, Toshiro Mifune's character and another character, they're lost in the woods, and then they come across... Would you... a witch? A siren? Or what would you call...
Well, to get this out of the way.
Should we set it up?
Yeah, I thought the trees coming alive was going to be some bullshit. Like, arrows are made of wood. They cut the forest to make them. Nope, they're literally. Well, yeah. And so here's the deal. They're talking about the. Yeah. So so this is. Famously, and just. It just is a retelling or a kind of an adaptation of Shakespeare's Macbeth, right? Starring Toshiro Mifune as the titular Throne of Blood. His name is Throny McBlood. And
Bodie
the
McBoatface.
it's the titular Macbeth. So he's basically Macbeth, right? And he's of course he's a very very versatile actor. I mean, in this one he played. So in the first movie we saw he played a samurai. Second movie we saw he played a samurai. And the third movie this one he played not a samurai, a Japanese warrior who fights people with swords.
Look at him. He's already trying to take.
What a dick.
He's trying to take Toshiro down.
Yeah. I'm like, hey buddy. He
was a Ronin.
He was, which is a masterless samurai.
He's a Ronin.
That's a masterless samurai.
Notice that first word, masterless. There's,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
That's
It's a
it's
samurai.
not great.
A Ronin is a samurai. It was a samurai in the first one. He totally was. Well, again, he lied about being a samurai. He's a pretend samurai. So in the first one, he was a man who's not a samurai pretending to be a pretend samurai. In the second one, he's a man who's not a samurai pretending to be a samurai. And the third
You
one,
can hear it in his voice, the condescension.
I'm just having funsies.
He gets off on it.
Yeah. I got in the pants on. Yeah. So the wonderful Toshiro Mifune, playing Macbeth.
Now I wanted to ask you because you've played Macbeth in a theater production.
Yes.
How?
Yes.
How?
Let's. Yes. I
So
really want to
go put your turtleneck on.
You're like,
and you're all for people's glasses.
I want the end of that sentence to be you go like, I know. So since you've played Macbeth in a theater production, I want to ask you to shut the fuck up for the next 2 hours because I don't want to hear any of this crap.
I needed to do it because I wasn't gonna wait for you to figure out a sly way to address it. I probably should have because it would have been a fun game to be like, how is he gonna work it in and how long is it gonna take?
I was not gonna work.
It's like,
it
well,
in.
when I did Big Bad.
Gosh darn it. Yeah.
But what I really did want to ask you because this is
When I played
this based off Macbeth or
Yes.
more inspired by Macbeth?
It is.
How close is
it? It is nearly a blow for blow.
Really?
I mean, in some ways, there are some key differences, which I remember from the time I played Macbeth. This is going to be insufferable, guys.
He's orgasming every time
Insufferable.
he says it.
Insufferable. Macbeth was from Women Untimely Ripped. Yeah, they took that out completely. Which is like the twist. It's like there's the tree thing, which is like the B team twist. But then like the super twist, they just took out, and they were like, "This is cool."
I'm not versed in Macbeth, so you can.
I am
me.
because I don't know if you so. It's just awful. It's just not gonna work.
Oh, we found our running joke for the stream. I'm looking forward to it. Last time it was Connery. I'm waiting for him to do Macbeth as Connery.
Well,
I'll egg him on to do it later.
That's stay tuned. That's far less of a jump than is usually needed for whatever nonsense. Doesn't read books, but he played Macbeth at a community college theater. It was a community theater. Well, it was a community theater.
You shaved your head in the whole thing.
I did. It was rad. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a really great time. And Heath was Banquo. Banquo is Mickey. Hey Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. I killed you.
And that's like a big. You said that's like the twist. What's the twist? You were talking about twists.
Okay, so here's it. So basically, so Macbeth is okay. So Macbeth is a Scottish general, right? Just as Toshiro Mifune here as Waka. Dang it, Waka's Zowie. Waka. What's his name?
What are you looking at?
What is his name? What's the character's name?
Toshiro Mifune's character?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Oh no, they
happens every time we do one of these movies. I go, the awesome guy. I call him Morgan Freeman. I call him Toshiro Mifune. This time I'm gonna call him Macbeth. Hold on a second. Help.
When they're at the beginning of the movie, when they're talking about each character's castle and and how they've fallen or they're giving updates, they list off so many names.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know that's an important name that I need to know, and it just
Washizu.
Washizu.
Honestly, I never was a fan of that twist. Really? That's what? Come on, it's the thing. I mean, you feel how you feel, but what? Anyway, so here's the deal. So this is Macbeth. So Macbeth is a Scottish general. He's off fighting gosh darn it, who is it? Oh, I can't remember now. Who the crap is it? They're fighting somebody. Who the heck are they fighting? I can't remember who they're fighting. But they're Scotland.
Now, you played Macbeth.
Yeah.
In Macbeth.
All right, here we go.
I was expecting a little more.
I played.
Fought a guy.
I played Carl Macbeth, who is Macbeth's brother. Who's just not. He just
runs a Carl's Jr.
Yeah. Every once in a while, he comes like, "Hey Macbeth, you got that? Hey, I got that $20 I owe you. I promise."
Fucking Macbeth.
Oi, oi. And then he leaves, and he's like, "What are we going to do with Carl?" That's how I did. That's what I did. That's what I did the whole thing. Yeah. She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in its petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. It's just a whole sentence. So I
want you
stop.
to do a trailer. That needs to be the new trailer voice guy.
Yes.
In a land.
Really bad. Yeah. Yeah. Really just. You like Aladdin? You won't. That's. Hey, Sean, don't. That's not going to sell. That's not going to.
Who's that? Who's talking to me right now? Is that a woman?
You do remember the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? He's the genie. Can you believe it? I don't. Be our guest to skip this one. Hey, that's not even the right.
Sean, it's not a review. You're
not...
literally here to be trailer voice guy.
You are entirely positive, and that's the Beauty and the Beast.
I'm doing everyone a favor.
Yeah. I've never seen it. It's probably a great movie. Aladdin live action. Okay. I was trying. Macbeth, guys. Who are we fighting? LMAO, I forget. No. Oh. It's the gosh darn. Is it the Norwegians? It's Norway. It's Norway. They're fighting Norway.
I don't want to get psyched. I didn't realize this was going to be such a process. Here's what I want to know.
Okay.
So it's a almost beat for beat
in some
translation.
Ways.
So what's the big minus, the subtraction that they took out, the twist that you were referencing?
So I gotta tell you everything. To tell you. Here, hold on a second.
Oh, this is good. Where are you going? Wikipedia?
This is just.
You gonna get the Cliff Notes version?
You too. It's just you know me too well.
Out of all Macbeth cinema interpretations of Macbeth, where would you rank this in terms of its faithfulness or just overall
of the
goodedness?
Of the two that I've seen,
which was the other one?
The Michael Fassbender one.
Right.
Did
you like
ranks,
that one?
Yes.
Not being versed in Macbeth, I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and the thing with I feel like the thing with a Shakespeare adaptation is in order to justify it, really, like because you're doing Shakespeare, you're like, I'm gonna redo Macbeth, and like it's Macbeth, and really generally what I feel like people are looking for from a Shakespeare adaptation is like, how are you going to spit? You've got these like big kind of tentpole epic or just iconic scenes in most Shakespeare plays. And you're just like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do this?
You think you like the Baz Luhrmann approach kind of like?
Well, that's kind of like a blanket whatever. This is like, so there are two moments, there are a couple things that the Kurzel, or Kurzel, I don't know how you say his name, that Macbeth did. And basically it kind of a lot of it comes down to soliloquies, like which are these kind of these because I played Macbeth. It's not you can't these I
want to counter to the bottom of the screen.
Bing
Here's the thing with that movie, I really enjoyed it, having going in pretty foreign to the entire idea except for like just very general beats, and I walked out very moved by it. And I thought it was incredibly well done. I also was like, I'm gonna need to revisit that in a couple of years after really researching, because it's using like the vernacular and everything. So I'm a dummy, and I went in and I was just like, this is I'm getting it because it's doing its job on a cinematic level, telling me the story. but I was just like, I'm losing a lot of this through the speech.
Yeah, the Polanski one I want to see. Definitely.
Yeah, I want to see that one too.
So, but yeah, and I think and there a lot of the big moments in Shakespeare. I mean, just kind of the sort of the starting point way to nail them is you go like, oh, the soliloquies, which are these long monologues that are given to the audience where the character's trying to figure out something or he's at a crossroads and whatever. And there's two big speeches that kind of Lady Macbeth has. There's two big scenes. There's a big scene between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth that they sort of the one where she's kind of like convincing him to kill the king. And what they did with that in the Kurosawa, I was like, well, I haven't seen that before. That really works. It was something very interesting. And then she has a scene later where she delivers this soliloquy, and they did something with that, which I was like, that is bold and that's cool. And I feel like that's what you do when you do a Shakespeare adaptation. You go, I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah.
Because like most remakes, they're just kind of like, we're just going to, whatever.
Yeah.
But you do Shakespeare, you got to have a reason.
Like a spin on it.
Yeah, people are that's what people are looking for.
Yeah.
They're like,
right.
why? Because like, okay, you're going to say yours,
Now bringing it back to this movie, how did you find? How did you find it? Because he was like, yes, I based it off Macbeth, but it was also my own. He was like, it's Macbeth, but it's really a launching pad for, I don't know.
It's 100. It's definitely Macbeth.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like inspired by Macbeth. It's Macbeth.
Okay.
I don't, and I think as opposed to like, where in the concept of the scene, adaptations will be like, well, we're going to choose this. We're going to make this. Because, like, so for instance, in the Kurzweil Macbeth, when she has this big speech about essentially she's challenging him to be a man. She's like, be a man, do this thing, reach for your day. And in the Fassbender film, Marion Cotillard and Michael Fassbender, they're having sex while she's fucking him while she's doing it. I'm like, that's great. That's really awesome. And it works really, really well. Because sometimes people are just like, oh, I have this bold idea. And then you're like, no, you did it really well. And then she has a speech later that is, she has a line where she's talking about, I think in that same scene where she's convincing him to kind of man up and do it. She's like, she's like, well, you got to be tough. You got to do the thing you do. It's like, you got to do what you got to do. She's like, I've given suck. In other words, I've suckled a baby, but like, if it was what needed to be done, I would have ripped its jaws from my breast and bashed its head against a stone. If that's what it took to whatever. And so that's the moment where you're like, dang,
yeah.
Like, but in that metaphor, she says, so there's that one line in all of Macbeth, and you go, wait a second. So they had a child, but the child passed away, right? So like he doesn't have an heir and all this thing. And so then there's a speech later where she's kind of losing it. She's lost her mind. And they stage it in that film so that she's giving it to the specter of a child. Yeah. And it's like,
that was cool.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like, so it's very, 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 it's great.
Yeah. And the who is the actress who plays Lady Macbeth?
In this?
So
she's the one.
She's in Sinjuro. Yeah. Or, I'm sorry, Yojimbo.
Yeah.
And
she's the kind of like, honestly, Lady Macbeth of that film.
She is fantastic.
She's amazing. She's amazing in this.
She's really amazing.
She's a standout in that. And then you go, oh, cool. Like
she's like stunning in this. Yeah.
And this preceded it, right? Those black teeth, man. Those eyebrow. Whatever's going on.
I would love to know the cultural significance, or
it's like no theater, right? Isn't it? I don't know.
Is that where that comes from?
I'm not sure. I would assume.
Yeah, because it's like they put them in the middle of their forehead essentially, and then they just shave their. It's an unknown mask. Yeah. Dude, wouldn't give him time. Oh, you guys are talking about Polanski. Okay, difficult. Oh, okay. Yep. But yeah, man. You watch it, and she's just like, sitting, just like not. She's just. I mean, the staging is fantastic. She's the
at the bottom of the screen, and he's there, and she's just like looking straight ahead,
it's
just
awesome.
and like
It's riveting.
after and she's great. Her performance is amazing. And after a couple of those scenes, I go, Macbeth, straight up married a ghost. He's married to a ghost. That lady's a ghost. She's not there. She's a ghost. I mean, it's not true, but like, but it's like, hey man, what? Huh?
Yeah.
And it's interesting what they do with it because in my opinion, they make her, and Lady Macbeth has this reputation for, I mean, she's an archetype essentially. She has become, they're like, it's a Lady Macbeth character, which is this like strategic,
cutthroat
woman who's whispering in her husband's ear but she's the brain, the brains, and she's the ambitious one and whatever. This kind of goes a little further. In a way, it goes further in the sense that so essentially the setup is the same. There are lines in this movie that are like just rephrases of the Shakespeare line that happens at that. Like it begins exactly the same way. There's a fight in Norway. There's a messenger who runs up and he's like, and it's all because you're watching the first scenes of this movie and you're like, man, it's all exposition, which is great. It doesn't matter because you're like, I'm getting the story well. It's Shakespeare. Shakespeare's all exposition.
I love
it's fantastic.
Like the intro of it.
Oh, that's great.
Like the way this movie gets into it so quickly.
Totally.
And how and again, this was like, this was the first of my Kurosawa bender. This is the one that I was just like, oh, I'm gonna start watching all this stuff, and I chose this one to watch first. And from the opening shots where it's just smoke, and then it slowly reveals the castles as you get further into the mountains, and like the little I can't remember what the context was, but like they show like a pylon, like a little pillar.
Yeah, this little like totem.
Totem.
I'm not.
But I can't remember. What was the significance of that?
So it's like this is where here stood Spiderweb Castle, and it's this big like it's like this elegy for Spiderweb, and it's like, and of course it comes back at the end. And I forgot that's right. That is something. Honestly, that's something that is not in. I mean, this is interesting because it's interesting because it adds like this sort of almost like archaeological aspect to the story in the sense where it's like
it just puts it in that wonderful like what you're about to see is like legend.
Yes,
you know what I mean. And I love movies.
And it happened here.
And I love like the way again.
It's like Ozymandias. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. The way he like Kurosawa uses smoke and stuff. And fog.
They filmed on Mount Fuji. That's true.
It really does gives his movie these like really mystical qualities where there's a lot of like I was using the term earlier, magical realism to a lot of stuff because one of my favorite things in this movie is when they meet that. So this is what kind of started this whole conversation. The witch or whatever. Yeah. What I loved about that was she gives her prophecy. And it's like you're gonna. I
thought it was a dude. It's a dude, right?
Is it a dude?
I thought it was a dude.
Oh.
I mean, it's a spirit.
It's a spirit.
So I think it.
Oh, I thought it was a woman.
Well, and I think at the beginning.
It's just a really old man with long hair.
It's an old dude.
I could see that.
But he kind of changes, and well, no, but you're right though because there was something, and I didn't pick up on this, but I read something where it was like at the beginning, it's meant to mimic this sort of like a no archetype, which is an old woman, but to me he was a dude, but yeah.
Maybe it's either or. Yeah. But it's awesome. Like, I mean, it is a crazy cool interpretation. And, like, they overlight. Like, it must have been so hot for that actor because they clearly, like, put a ton of lights on it. Just blasted out. Yeah. But what I loved about it on, like, a psychological level was she gives the prophecy of, like, you're going to inherit the throne. You'll inherit blah, blah, blah. And then it's almost like this weird placebo effect type thing. Sure. Where just by planting the seed that you could do it, they then believe in this and they put into action the things that need to bring that prophecy to fruition.
Macbeth is like self-fulfilling prophecy, the play. Like it basically is. I mean, that's that totally. And you're right. And absolutely. And so again, here's another part where I'll just start telling the whole story and you just stop me 3 minutes in and I'll try again.
I'm just gonna chop you off.
Cool.
Now
so Macbeth,
you were in Macbeth?
Yeah, so hold on. Let me see. Hold on a second. Brian Villalobos gives a breathtaking performance. His Macbeth is brooding. is brooding, mysterious, sexy. Macbeth is sometimes portrayed as a cautious, almost spineless man. Villalobos takes a different approach.
What? Show that to him. That's a real review. Show it to him. Show it to him.
It's joking.
And I also, now, did you make that little quote thing? Because I noticed that, like, the word sexy was,
Did Brian Francisco write that? Yep. It is the only time I've ever... It is the only time I've ever been called sexy by a professional reviewer.
That's cool, man.
And anyone.
I would fucking print that out and frame it.
I did. I mean, I didn't, but I did. Yeah.
Big, too.
Yeah. It's right there. I mean,
it's over their mantle downstairs.
Yeah. And this is just a picture of my wife rolling her eyes.
The picture, the big picture of his family is off in the corner. Is like this. This needs to be front and center. That's good. Sorry, guys. I'm sexy.
Anyways, oh man.
Say it and say it slow.
Say it quickly. Dulcimer. Dulcimer. Doucement. Do it sexy. No. No, do it. Do it. Yeah. So he's whatever, and the dude comes back. He's like, "We're fighting the Norwegians," and he's like, "Oh no, what's going on with Norway? We're gonna die." And then the dude comes and goes like, "No, Macbeth, mighty Macbeth, is kicking everyone's ass." And they go, "Wow, that guy's great." And then it cuts to Macbeth, and it's exactly the same thing. They're wandering through the thing, and they come upon 3 witches.
Ah, okay.
Which is where double, toil and trouble, all that is. That's what they're saying.
Oh, that common phrase.
Yes. Mm. You never heard double? Okay. All right. Anyway, so it's...
In my head, when Brian was a child, he walked around. He probably got punched a lot. It's like just double. What's it?
Toil and trouble. Something burn and cauldron bubble.
He would probably get punched, and you're like, double.
Sorry, this is the trouble part.
What did you say?
Yeah. And then
Come over here.
And I'd be like, nothing. Brian Villalobos is sexy. And they'd be like, what? Someone's going to write that someday. Someone's going to write it. No one will ever call you sexy. And I was like, right, you are the meanest teacher I've ever had. Yeah, so he goes, and so they go. I mean, the same thing happens. He's like, so instead of fortresses, they are essentially kind of like sort of like provinces, basically. Yeah. The guys they're thanes. They're essentially dukes, and he's the thane of Cawdor, and he says he's going to be the thane of I can't even remember. Whatever. But he's like, look, you're this guy. He's like, what do you do? What are you 3 crazy witches doing? And they're like, oh, Macbeth. And he's like, how do you know my name? I mean, it's like literally word for word. I mean, well, we're just pretty close. And they're like, yeah, you're gonna be thane of is it? I can't remember. Thane of something. And he's like, well, that can't be. I'm the thane of this. And they're like, oh, but you'll be that and greater. Yeah. You will be king. And he's like, what? And Banquo's over there going like, oh, that's weird. Got anything for me? And they're like, you will be not as great as Macbeth, but greater. Not so lucky, but luckier. Or whatever. And he's like, that's weird. You're all crazy bitches. Mm-hmm. And then they just go, and they walk away. And then they go, that was weird, right? Yeah, and they're like, yeah, cool, right? I mean, it's that was a pretty, I love that interpretation of it where they're just laughing. Yeah. Like he's like, oh, you better have, yeah. And then they go, yeah. It's big, but it's great.
It is big, but it's all, like, that's what's great about Toshiro Mifune is, like, he can go super big. Yeah. And then, like, as he's walking off camera, you see the doubt starting to creep in or, like, his misgivings. And he can just do it all within, like, and effortlessly. Yeah.
Gloms are art. He is Gloms. Cawdor is what he's going to be. And then he goes, and king thereafter. Gloms are art. Cawdor, you will be, or some shit. Yeah. The Spirit's song in this is way cooler. Well, yeah. They walk up and he's like spinning a loom, which is reminiscent of the spider, but also the fates, of Roman mythology, Greek mythology, one of them. And then he's walking up and he's just going, man is a wretched thing. Yeah. He is a fragile flower, and and he would all his travails are for naught, and his reward will be stench and decay. Yeah. And they walk up and they go, dang. And then they're like, do you just sing this song all day in case someone shows up? Because like you got to prove you're like the existential. Like, were you singing "Tainted Love" 5 minutes ago? But like we just walked up when you were like,
that's right,
singing the stuff that's.
You don't get a castle anymore.
Jermaine, yeah, exactly. So then, he's like, they're like, that's weird, that's crazy, you weirdos. No, we don't believe you. And then they're walking, and then some dude comes up. He's like, hey, oh man, well, we just came back from a battle. And he's like, Macbeth's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you're the Thane of Cawdor now. Thane of Cawdor is a traitor. And the king said, you're the Thane of Cawdor. And he's like, well, that's weird because they just said that. And so that means that. And then he and Bango are like, interesting, weird. And then, they get called forth exactly the same way to the king. And the king's like, hey, you guys are the best.
That's one of my favorite. Like when they get their honors and everything and their kingdoms, and then they turn and they walk away. And they're walking down that
part is great.
It is awesome.
Where they're just like,
just hold on their faces.
It's like the end of The Graduate.
Yeah, it is, and they just follow them down this long dolly shot as they walk away from the stage.
They just want to go like, "Girl, what?"
Yeah,
but they don't, and they're just kind of like they're just kind of like almost looking at each other, but they don't want to. And they're just kind of like, it's great.
It's
so
awesome.
Fantastic.
That was one of my favorite moments. Yeah,
he's doing some sick grimace work in this film. Yeah, he's just yeah. So that happens. Same thing happens. Like the same thing happens in the play. The king comes by to like. There's much more of a. In the play, I don't believe he's like planning an attack on anyone. The play, he just comes in and like graces him with his presence. And it's like, you're our hero, man. You're Macbeth. You're the war hero. You're the best. We're just gonna come stay with you. And he's like, cool. And that's when Lady Macbeth is like, yo, so like he's sleeping over there. You could just stab him. And then what's interesting is that she in the movie, she uses fear a lot more. In the play, at least the way I interpret it, it's much more raw ambition. She's just like, you can do this.
Yeah.
You can do this great thing for our family. You're meant to be great.
You're saying
go do it. You have a chance here. You need to have the stones to grab it, or else you're not a man of sense.
And you're saying she's using fear as like they could come in.
Which is not really a thing in it's not that much of a thing.
But you could say is even more of a sly. To me, I read it as much more conniving. I just thought it was like a really conniving way of playing on his fears.
It is, but what it, and I get that. It changes it a bit for me because to me it makes it all her almost.
Yeah.
Like she's in
the
play she's manipulating him, but she's not.
But she knows that's ambition's there. And stuff.
Yeah, and and it doesn't. She just goes, "This is a chance. This is a chance to be great. This is a chance to be great." And at first he's like, "No. This conversation is over."
Yeah.
But then it kind of sits with him, and then he has this whole soliloquy about how he's like, he's thinking about it and he can't, and he envisions this dagger. There's so much cool stuff in this play that would fit right in, that I'm surprised they didn't do it. He sees this ghostly dagger, which is an embodiment of his bloody thoughts, right? And he's like, is this a dagger I see before me? And it's this big thing, and then he comes back to her and he's like, all right, I'll do it or whatever. And in this and so what she just kind of goes, she sort of starts planting the seeds, kind of. They're already there, but she's just kind of like, you know what this means? And he's like, no, but it's there. And he's just like, yeah, we should. And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. But then she just lets it sprout from him. In this one, she's like, you're gonna get killed. Mickey's going to rat you out, and they're gonna come kill you. She essentially backs him into a corner and goes, it's do this and get great success and get great power, or we're gonna die.
And I love,
she makes it a
I kind of like that interpretation just because like what Inbalok's saying is it's more paranoid, and it's interesting because it on an overall scale, it's a no matter how successful you become, once you hit that tier, you're only going to worry about how to sustain it and 100%. Then get to the next one.
100%.
And that was just such a universal like truth that I was like, I just really dug that.
Oh, well, and the thing is that is 100% in the play as well.
Yeah.
It just doesn't come from her.
Yeah.
She goes ambition, right? Boom, and he goes ambition. He does it, and then on his own, as soon as he does that, he becomes incredibly paranoid and goes, that person has to die.
Oh,
that
that's
person has to
interesting.
die.
Yeah.
That person has to die, and then he goes, Banquo knows. Banquo has to die.
Yeah.
And it's and his killing his best friend is sort of the kind of the ultimate treachery. It's like the begin. It's the true beginning of the end for him, and it really is like, I mean,
we have been talking about what we're gonna do next month, and I think we should do.
Yeah.
We had talked about doing Polanski's Macbeth, and now that we're breaking this down, I'm really fascinated by it. So I think that would be, because it's supposed to be. Have you seen that one? You haven't seen that one.
And it's the one that was after.
It's on Criterion and stuff. Like, it's supposed to be awesome.
Well, and you know what? Like it's
after.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's got. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Well, it's like it's famously.
Oh my god.
Like over the top bloody. Because he made it, I think it was like the next year or the year after. Like it was the next movie made definitely after Sharon Tate was murdered. Yeah. So it's
Holy
like,
shit.
yeah, that's an intense, like crazy thing. Like, I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's just like, that's definitely. So she is a catalyst, and I'm not, by no means am I trying to. I'm not trying to weaken the character of Lady Macbeth. I just think it makes her a more interesting. I think she's a more full. Like not full figure going, but full. I think she's a more full character, a more human character.
You need to stop doing that.
If she's not, yeah, I think she's just got this where she's not like there's a maternal like looking out for her family kind of side to her.
Yeah.
That doesn't really. She just kind of does that, and then Macbeth, his own dark sort of design. This one just makes it more like she did go bloop. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
You're scared now, so you have to do this. Obviously, you had a choice. And the other one, they're just too.
He kind of seems overwhelmed.
Yes, which he is
in the position of this. Like, and he feels unworthy, which is why his paranoia.
Yeah.
It gets the better of him because he's also like, I'm ill-equipped for this position in the first place.
Yeah, and Macbeth in general is really truly to me the story of this of a decent man, like, and a decent couple who are. I mean, it's essentially. I haven't seen it, but from everything that people have described about Breaking Bad, I go, oh, it's Macbeth. It's just Macbeth. It's this normal person driven in desperation, or paranoia, or by ambition to just. You just watch the crumbling of a person.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like, oh, everything is. It's just the destruction and subversion of the good in a man.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's great. So he so anyway, so that happens. He kills Banquo. You have that ghost scene, which is really well done. It was interesting because they didn't reveal that because in the play he sends two dudes off to go kill Banquo, and then they have the banquet. And I was like, the Banquo's coming, but he hasn't killed Banquo yet. Is Banquo's ghost not going to be there? And then it is there. And I was like, wait, so did he not kill him? What's going on?
Yeah,
and
that was fucking cool.
Yeah, that is great. And that's always like a how are they going to do that scene?
That was really,
whenever it's
really
mounted
great.
as a play or whenever. Yeah. It's a chick in their armor that's cracked wide open. Absolutely. Not to derail, but Walter in Breaking Bad isn't a decent dude. I mean, like at the beginning, isn't he? Is he not?
I
don't know.
Yeah, it's a.
Okay.
It's just he's a tragic figure.
Yeah. And Macbeth.
He's a very well-rounded. You understand why he's done the things that he done and where things got the better of him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to watch all of Breaking Bad with you, and then
I've never seen any of
break it down from that angle, though.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it gets the accolades it gets because it's that good.
Interesting.
Yeah, you would love it.
I wonder.
It's. I mean, it's broken record, but it's one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah. And I think, and Macbeth is definitely like it is. I mean, it has a reputation for being very bloody, which it is, very violent, which it is, but it is 100% a tragedy. It is just an utter tragedy.
Yeah.
Of the just human ambition and the absolute downfall of a person. I don't think that's really a useful, fair analog for Walter. What's that? Macbeth? You haven't seen it, so I can't really have a conversation about it. Sure, fair, no problem. Season 1 of Breaking Bad is really gross. Okay. Breaking Bad isn't about a good guy going bad. It's a bitter, broken down dude who goes bad.
Yeah.
Goes pretty easily once he starts. Well, and so does Macbeth, but Macbeth's a soldier. But yeah. Okay, fair.
Hey, why don't you just shut up and stop making Breaking Bad?
I'm going to read you another review snippet.
His penis is so big.
Really, I mean, it just probably
Strong.
very.
He did push-ups on stage with his erection. I was shocked.
Yeah.
And amazed.
Yeah. And a bit distracted because it didn't work. I mean, it didn't.
Started doing a voice with it. I don't know.
Yeah. He's like, you could do it. You can do it. You're a tiger.
This is
tiger
a theater
penis."
montage.
People were like, "This is." I don't remember this part. And you were like, "This is the scene that we're doing." Oh no.
It's like and then you walked right up to him and you're like, it's really about how you approach the material.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know how you're gonna approach Macbeth, so
Yeah.
look at it.
She's like, I need you to approach me less with your tiger penis. Look, I played Wall to Wall in the stage version of local BA Hall, so listen to me. Yeah.
Yeah, shit, I lost it. I had something. This is off topic, but I watched last night instead of watching this again. Because I watched this recently, and I was like, I got it. He'll carry me.
He's going to talk for at least 45 minutes.
I was like, I knew he was in Macbeth, so I was like, he's going to talk a lot during this one. And lo and behold.
Yep. No one was disappointed, except everyone was disappointed.
I watched a movie on a whim last night called The Vanishing, and it stars Gerard Butler and Tom Cullen, some older actor who I wasn't aware of. But anyways, it's about three guys who it's based off a true story about three guys in 1900 who were lighthouse keepers, and they went to this lighthouse and then they disappeared and no one ever found them ever again. And it was this big mystery as to like what happened to their bodies and what happened, and they abandoned their post and blah 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 blah.
So why is it called The Vanishing?
Is
this joke good?
And it
great?
didn't have great, like, I saw it was like on Amazon Prime and it only had like 3 stars, but I'm a sucker for a good lighthouse movie, like big time.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love a movie centered around a lighthouse.
Yeah. Well,
And I just am. And I thought it was going to be like a horror movie.
yeah.
Because it was labeled as such, and it was called The Vanishing. And so I started, and I'm like, I'll just fall asleep to this. And I ended up watching the whole thing, and I was like, this movie is fucking rad, and I've never heard about it.
Yeah.
And it's got Gerard Butler in a performance that I was shocked how good he was amazing in it. Mm-hmm. And it's not a horror movie in like a supernatural sense.
Yeah.
It is a movie where they find a cabinet full of, like, not a cabinet, but like a treasure chest essentially full of gold, and they just start, like, people come looking for it, and then they have to deal with that, and then they start turning on each other, and it becomes this ultimate kind of Macbeth type tragedy where the paranoia turns on themselves, and then they turn on each other, and it was just I would suggest watching it, because it was a wonderful surprise, because I took a chance on it seemed like it had a modest budget, but it was beautiful to look at.
I was trying to think. I thought there was something.
It's very much like Treasure of Sierra Madre, very much, but very well done. Like, and that's why when it was literally gold bars.
Of Money movie.
It is, and it's
like
literal
Plan or something.
Yes, it very much is, and I love movies like that. I love Simple Plan.
Robert Eggers' Lighthouse. Film Robert Batman Pattinson.
Wait, what is? Oh yes, I'm very excited because it looks like another early, and it looks like a early 1900s or early 20th century like lighthouse movie.
Yeah, you remember the lighthouse, The Light Between Oceans? We watched that lighthouse movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
What's he doing?
That dude got sued for like.
Derek Sanfrance?
No. No, the guy who like wrote the script. Someone was like, "You stole my movie." There's like this big thing about it. Like, okay, it's interesting. I don't know.
I thought it was based off a book.
I made it down.
Was that the author of the book?
Oh, sorry. No. So yeah, the guy who wrote the book, someone else. Or no. Something. Yeah, like the guy who wrote the book, like stole it from a screenplay or something and wrote a book or something.
Oh, the author of the book.
But that's what they're alleging. Sorry, this is not. But
yeah.
but so who knows?
Holy shit.
They're just someone. But people did that with The Matrix and like so they're.
I think you can do that with any movie at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're probably a big Fraggle Rock guy.
Yeah, I saw Annihilation. I really dug it.
This guy? Because is there a lighthouse in Fraggle Rock? I like Fraggle Rock. Yeah.
I like
Annihilation. Oh, yeah.
I'm a big.
You do like Annihilation?
I did.
Okay, interesting.
I think I liked it even more because I was in a weird Tarkovsky phase then.
Yeah, sure.
Which that makes me cool. It's a cool thing to say. I have a hard time saying I'm watching Tarkovsky movies because people are like, got it.
Yeah. Jeff Ray watches Tarkovsky movies like a child watches Peppa Pig. With that amount of ease of understanding and clarity.
That's my base layer.
And 4 dogs. You've got 4 dogs. I don't know what's happening.
And that's exactly right, Imblock. So I just watched Stalker like the night before, and then I randomly I got invited to go see Annihilation, and I went and saw that, and I was just like, oh, it was like a double whammy of like, a zone, an infected zone, which is another like subgenre that I fucking love. Like when people have to go into like a zone of some sort that is dangerous. And I dug it. I thought Annihilation was fucking awesome. Did you see it?
Yes.
You hated it?
I failed to connect with it.
Yeah. That's cool.
That was off. That was off.
Yeah,
Just because
okay,
that's just me. But says you liked it. Interesting. That means he hates it. No, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. He read these Stalker games. What? There are games based on Stalker. What?
Really?
We gotta do Tarkovsky. I've seen none of it.
I would love to do Tarkovsky.
Yeah. But,
because I've watched all his films.
Jeff Ray has watched so many Tarkovsky films. So many Tarkovsky films. He was watching Tarkovsky before you were suckling on your mama's teat. You feckless douchebag. Wow.
It is just such a
USA
hard...
Today.
Like,
USA Today. Sorry, go ahead.
It is. It's a hard one to talk about without sounding like a fucking douchebag. Yeah. So what? Like, are these? Can you get these on Steam? Like, I would love to do that. That's cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get it. Are they just called Stalker?
Oh,
dude, I'm gonna get them. Yeah, that's it's a weird like tiny little subgenre of movies, but it's like S period T period. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Huh.
I'm gonna check those out.
1999, 1999.
Shadow of Chernobyl, which is like a good starter one. Seems like there's a few.
Huh. What the?
Oh, it's like a first-person shooter?
What?
Sorry, in my head I thought it was going to be like Myst.
Yeah, it looked like Myst for a second, and then it was not like Myst. Is this what the movie's like? Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to check it out. Thanks for the recommendation.
Chernobyl.
Back to this movie, though.
So... Do you want me to keep talking?
Yeah, well, the Authority probably needs to lead the way
right.
in the conversation.
All right. What were you going to say?
I just wanted to clear one thing up there real quick. Now, you said, and I wanted to verify,
All right.
No, you were in a play?
All right.
And it was an interpretation of Macbeth?
Mm-hmm.
And you played Macbeth.
That is correct. And you've watched... Hold on. You've watched films by acclaimed Russian director.
Yes, I just watch them.
Okay.
I don't interpret them on the theater stage. I've never been fortunate enough nor talented enough to take on a role such as a Stalker or a Solaris.
But did you direct a music video that topped the Billboard charts in country music? Did you do that?
I do that in my sleep.
Yeah.
I gotta make my money somehow.
Oh my gosh! Let's talk about loose cannons. Let's talk about loose cannons. Let's not ever talk about loose cannons.
What's loose cannons? Let's talk about it. What is it?
I think we talked about it last time.
What is it?
It's my band days.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's my band days.
And you named it that, right?
Yes, I did.
Because you were like, I need something that pretty much represents my personality. And
It was loose cannons or turn in your badge. I can't remember. It was that. Those are the two. Those are the two. Put your gun and badge on my desk.
McNulty. What genre of music was it?
Gosh darn it! I thought we were talking about. It was awkwardly old cover band.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And
it was like
a wide
guys
range?
playing on a wooden slat outside of a seafood restaurant that looked haunted.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's what I think. I
Yeah. And the guitarist is like, "We're gonna do Led Zeppelin." And I was like, "Who's gonna do Led Zeppelin?" And he's like, "We're gonna do Led Zeppelin." And I was like, "That means I have to sing Led Zeppelin." And he was like, "Yep."
Oh yeah, because you were the singer too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what makes it the best for me.
That is the best, right? It's best for everybody.
What Led Zeppelin song did you do?
Well, it went a little something
Do it.
like this.
Unit.
Coolin', baby, I'm not foolin'. At one point, I had to sing because my parents were in the audience. I had to sing, "I'm gonna give you every inch of my love." I'm gonna give you my love.
Did you like look at your parents when you said that?
I was like,
And they're like, oh, that's so sweet. He's such a sweet boy.
We gave him our love. It's kind of the third choice. I turned in your badge, and I played Macbeth. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm sorry, I forgot. I shouldn't. Okay. Ha! I played Macbeth on the same stage outside that seafood restaurant. It was 2 minutes at a time between songs. Hey, yeah, please.
Back to the movie.
Okay, really.
All right. It's been like 2 weeks. What happens after she kind of poisons his mind?
And then she poisons the guards.
And then she poisons the guards. That's right. Now, is
Yeah.
that faithful to
Yes.
Macbeth?
Yeah.
She does it herself?
I mean, it's her idea. She goes, we're gonna pour, give him a drink, and they whatever, and he sneaks in, blames it on the guards, says the guards are treacherous, wakes everybody up. They come out and they're like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "They killed the king." And the guy's like, "Well, I did," and he's like, "Traitor!"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Blah, blah," and falls down dead. And then they're like, and he's like, "Ah!" And it's great. It's a great scene.
Keep talking. Let's keep going.
So then he goes, cool. Now I'm king, at least in the play. And then he starts kind of, picking off people. So the king's son, just as in the film, leaves. Banquo gets wind of what happened, and he's like, "Oh, that's weird, because there was a prophecy that you might be now that's interesting." And so and Macbeth kind of starts sort of like moving that direction in his mind, instead of his wife going like, "You should kill Mickey." And he, I mean, at some point in this one, like the king's or the emperor's, the great lord's wife kills herself. Macbeth eventually ends up ordering the death of the king's wife and her children, which is kind of, he just gets more and more brutal and just kills everybody.
And how did what was the trees, the amazing tree sequence? Was that a part of the prophecy?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what happened. So like, so then, his wife starts kind of going losing it, and she has like the hand washing.
Yeah.
Which the way the little wrinkle they threw in there, I was like, okay, here's the hand washing scene. That's like Lady Macbeth. That's Lady Macbeth. And then I was like, okay, they did do it, and she's whatever, and he moves the bowl out of the way, and then she just keeps. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's a nice touch. Yeah. That's really nice. And she's fantastic, obviously. So Lady Macbeth kind of starts losing it. She kind of sequesters herself. She kind of goes, I started this thing on its way, and now he's become a monster. He becomes a monster.
Yeah.
People start kind of going like, whoa, we don't trust him anymore. Blah, 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 blah. The word gets out to this guy that they mentioned, Inui, is in the play is a guy named Macduff, who is kind of like this. He sort of eventually ends up kind of leading this rebellion against Macbeth, and he's a noble, and people flock to his side. He he kills Macduff's wife and children, which is crazy. Anyway, so Macduff comes, he's coming, and then like he amasses forces, joins forces with the British, and eventually it just ends up being, yeah, they're surrounded, same as in the movie. He goes and is like, I'm gonna go talk to those witches again. Goes out, seeks counsel. They say, don't worry. As long as Burnham Wood do not come to Dunsinane. Dunsinane is the castle, and the Burnham Wood is the wood around it. It's like when the woods come to Dunsinane, then you're in trouble. And he's like, well, that's crazy.
Right.
That's a really weird, specific thing to say, but
Yeah.
I'll take that as the same thing as like you'll never be in trouble.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but like, what of my enemies? And she goes, no man who is of woman born will ever harm Macbeth. And he goes, no man that's okay, great. Every man's born of a woman. You keep saying this in a cryptic way, but I'll trust you because you're three witches.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And then he just
Which was an amazing sequence in the film
great.
when he goes into the woods, and it's just like every time he turned around, it was another interpretation of it. It was great.
And those are three renowned Japanese stage actors who like begged Kurosawa to be in the film. And
Really?
He just put them as those three.
It was
and it's
awesome.
interesting. And in that moment, it kind of becomes like the three witches.
Yeah. It was really, and like the effects work in that was so subtle and but very effective.
Yeah, the effects work was great. Like this is the first time when he
Disappears.
He stands up and then goes, and then just obviously
it's just a real, it's just like
simple
a poof and a cut, but like the way they did it, I was like, oh my
yeah, I was like, oh, and I love, they're just some great practical effects, like M. Black mentioned when she disappears into I think this was supposed to be, it's definitely memorable. I think it was supposed to be evocative. This made me kind of like giggle, where she's like, Lady Macbeth is like, she gets up and then she's like, squeak, squeak. You hear her kimono like squeaking on the floor, and it's like, and then she disappears, and you just hear it. And then later she like just walks. You just hear it, and she walks faster, and you hear it faster. It's really funny.
It's very like, I find the way whenever I hear like quick footsteps in like an Eastern film, and it just goes like this.
Hey, carry away. Yeah.
Like sometimes it can be very unnerving if you know that character is not a good person.
Yeah, right.
And like a woman or something. Like I saw a movie, I think the American version was called The Black Cat, and it was on Criterion, and it blew my mind. We should do it on here.
The Black Cat? Wait, like based on the Poe story? Is it a guy who murders his wife?
No, it's about a samurai who loses his wife and mother, but then they come back as ghosts and they kill all the samurai, but now he's a samurai, and they've been luring them into the forest, and then they lure him into the forest, and they realize it's their son.
Wait, who is this? Who did this?
Here, I'm gonna pull it up.
That's crazy.
It's a great
That sounds
movie.
awesome.
It's a great movie, but they because they're killer ghosts.
Yeah.
So anytime you hear this, you know someone's about to get it.
That's horrifying. Works says Mickey eventually bribes him into naming his son's heir. The knowledge of the prophecy is really cool. Yeah. Camera pan onto Ghost Mickey that first time. He's all pale, looking dead. Yeah, that's true. And like you can like when it started panning back over, I was like, oh, I see what they did. But it's great. And then what's really effective is the second time he looks over and sees him, it cuts to him, cuts back. It's really effective for whatever reason. It's even less of an effect, but he when he backs himself up into the corner and then does the kind of like and then the camera just like sort of leisurely settles into the empty space, and it's like you know exactly how they did it, but it's just masterfully
it's awesome,
done.
yeah.
Oh, it's just so effective. What's up, Carrier Wave? Yeah, Kurosawa was great.
And then towards the end, and this is one of the things I wanted to ask you. You know, towards the end when they're like, okay, the forces are lining up outside the castle. Right. Are they? And they keep checking in on to see if they're there, how close they've gotten, blah blah blah. And and Toshiro's character is like rallying the troops and like getting everybody hyped to fight this battle.
Yeah.
And then
that's not really that's the kind of a diversion.
So explain.
So
that
by the end of the play, he's kind of, everyone's sort of like, they're like, he's insane and we're screwed. and that he kind of really doesn't have anyone left. I mean, he's still got people he can, but he's not.
So there's never like they're on his side and they're like, yeah, let's go do it.
He's
and
not
like,
commanding
oh,
like a giant.
Because in this
army.
one, he's like, they'll never be able to come because the prophecy foretold, and everybody's like, you guys believe the prophecy, right?
Yeah.
And then, but when the trees show up, they all turn against him in like one fell swoop because it's an amazing effect.
It is good, yeah.
And all done seemingly, because they show how it's done in the movie where they just, and I'm like, oh, did you fucking cut down a fort and do that? Like, it was incredible.
It really is.
It's really cool.
It's like an ocean of trees. I mean,
it's beautiful. It's so amazing.
It is
and
great.
then, so they turn against him. That's when they all start firing their arrows at him, where this is happening.
Yeah.
And
That scene. Yeah, well, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, after this ends, he stumbles out. He's got like 1,000 arrows in him, and he falls down.
I was watching and I was just watching that happen. And I go, oh, so to do that, they just killed Toshiro Mifune because
it shows like
what it looked like. They're going into him.
I know,
and they're real arrows.
For real?
I'm not the ones that went into him, but the arrows that they're shooting are real arrows.
Oh yeah.
They had archers and they were just like, Tsing.
Yeah.
But they said that, and I don't know. I gotta look into it more because they said they had some where they were hollowed out and were on a line, so that it would go. But not all of them.
Yeah. A lot of those were just
they were going
zinging by.
They would go boom and they're like brrr,
it was.
And they said that like he would, you know how he's kind of going like and swatting.
Yeah.
They said that he was doing that.
They just wanted to get the.
Well, no, he was doing that to let the archers know which way he intended to go, so they would shoot the other way, which is crazy.
Whoa.
That's illegal. That's not a way you could do. That's not a way to do that. That's Billy Friedkin's watching that going, what?
We want you want your practical effects?
Yeah.
We're diehard practical effect guys.
Yeah.
But it brings up what, in my opinion.
The hollow ones are the ones that hit the walls were real, yes. The thing of it, breaking them off to indicate where he was going to move. Exactly.
Yeah,
he was
crazy.
going bloom, and they're like, okay, cool.
And then he comes out, he's got 1,000 arrows in him, and he falls face forward onto the ground in front of his entire army, and he dies. And
that's awesome.
It has a shot that is, in my opinion, I was just like, that's... Because, again, this was the first Kurosawa movie I saw, and then I've seen, I think, almost all of them at this point.
So it's like you're Tarkovsky.
I'm really Tarkovsky in this situation.
Yeah, cool.
But there's a shot where it's a wide shot where he is face down with the army in the background and the dust and the wind are like flowing over his body. And I was like, that's
amateur
hour. The amateur hour at its finest. I was like, that's one of the best shots I've ever seen. Totally. I think still, after seeing his whole catalog, I think it's the best shot he ever made for both its significance, its composition, and it's just sheer weight and artistry of like what that is. Like, it is a beauty. Can we find that? And
sure.
And pull that up, because it was such an amazing
Lynch vibe.
image.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if he took inspiration from David Lynch. Wait a second.
Whoa.
No.
He's like, yes, this is an interpretation of Mulholland Drive.
Blue Velvet. Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
And by the way, this is Akira Kurosawa talking
from the past. Yeah. That's how he talked, from the past. Yeah, let's see. Let's find.
Throne of Blood.
Throne of Blood. Which
just what a great title.
I know. And in Japanese it was, it was Spiderweb Castle.
Ugh. Do they have the full
scene?
Like the full image?
Yeah, I know.
'Cause it's like scope.
No, it's not. It's like cropped.
Or maybe it's not. Is it scope?
Well, this shit is. What am I looking at?
This has me wanting to go home and watch a bunch of movies about Macbeth.
Yeah, that is great. Why?
Throne of Blood.
Why can't I find it? I want to find it, man. I really want to watch Ron. You know what I mean?
I still haven't finished it, and it's awesome. It's really great.
I can't find it. Well,
that's all right. Pull that one up.
Yeah. Balls. Whatever.
I think you're right. I think it's just that's the actual composition.
Shubap. Extent of his influence. Absolutely. No. I mean, goodness. Yeah, absolutely. Is it jarring when you said baby wants to... Right. The Kurosawa Wind and Dust. The actors wooden blocks under the costumes for those sequences. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, what?
Where they shot blocks. They shot arrows in the blocks? Is that...
You're telling me they shot real arrows and they're like, well, he's got a block under there. It's fine.
Well, I think the ones there were bamboo ones that they shot. There were fake ones that actually hit him. But
when you say fake, you mean it's just hollow, but it's still an arrow being shot at him?
Yeah, it's just Mifune was just.
That's what Kurosawa was telling his actors, like they're fake.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
No mask. Nice. Ah,
yeah,
that's her.
Yep.
Had a baby. Yeah, it's terrifying, man.
I desperately, like, after going through his whole catalog, I was like, man, I want to get a bunch of,
hey, Dragon.
Like Japanese stuff and put it in my house. And then I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
He's like, does that white guy have a samurai sword?
Because there's one white dude who can do that. It's Bruce Wayne. That's the only guy who can do that. It's the only guy who can do that. Commentary Chuck's Criterion 7 Samurai explains it. Yeah. Well, and there was a guy who's wearing there was a guy who was there's a guy he stabs kind of up against the wall. I guess maybe the guard where he after the king's dead, he stabs a guy up against the wall with a sword. Stabs him. He's against the wall, and then he stabs him.
Yeah. And you played Macbeth.
All right. And the guy was nervous and he put like a block. He put a wooden block there for him to stab. Shimafune stabbed it, but split it and injured the guy. The guy had a scar till the day died. And it was like, yeah, man, should just let Mifune just,
So, when they were stabbing people, they were just like, we put a block in there, hope you hit it? Still a real blade?
I don't know, man. They're hardcore. They're hardcore. Joe Salon, thank you for the host. Remember the katana and stringer bells apart. Actual arrows.
I don't remember the katana and stringer bells apartment.
Actually goes to it. I'm seeing a pattern here with wanting accuracy. Who's Stringer Bell?
The Wire.
Oh.
Look, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, I don't expect you to have seen The Wire.
Well, here's the thing.
Look,
I don't
why don't you watch Breaking Bad, then The Wire, then a couple of Tarkovsky movies, and then you can come talk to me because I can't have a conversation with you.
Because television's for babies. Yeah.
Do you want to get off that high pedestal that you're talking down to me from?
Yeah. Television is television people who have organized their lives in such a way that they have time to watch television.
Oh my God. Well, also to make television, I'm just like, cool. So you just devote your life to. Yeah. It's like making a movie, but for like 10 months out of the year.
See, and I just generally, but having watched, it's weird. Game of Thrones, I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, I really like it. I did not.
Oh, no. Breaking Bad is an example, and The Wire are examples of like, oh, that's like literary, like reading a very dense Dickensian novel type shit.
Sure.
And it's amazing. I was listening to an interview with Christopher Nolan because that's another thing that I do. I listen to interviews with famous film directors.
Oh man,
cinema directors.
Okay, all right.
And
I ate brie the other day.
I'm right there with you, brother. You want some of this brie? Yeah. What's his name? Nolan. Yeah. Yeah, I like Nolan Ryan though.
Hold on a second. Here we go. There we go.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. This is good. What is? It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Go ahead. Sorry.
Have you been doing that this entire time? Just like every once in a while, just going like.
Yeah,
totally.
Reach over and drop yours. Look at what's happening.
Yeah. Jeff, does the B on your hat stand for Brian? Does he make you wear that? He does. I come over, I'm like, I don't want, please, not today. And he's like, you'll wear it?
Wear it. Do it too small.
Do it small.
Wear it too small.
What is that from?
Do it sexy.
Is that from True Lies?
It's from True Lies.
Nice. That's nice.
This one.
Because the first time you did it, you even did like the little hand.
Yeah, and the cigarette, yeah. No. Do it do small. Do it very slowly.
And then she says something. He's like,
Yeah. He goes, Jamie.
She looks
Jamie Lee.
smoking hot in that movie.
Jamie. We want Jamie. Just move around the bed like it's a superpower. Do it.
You know, you can't freaking find that. I've tried to watch that movie you can't find it. It's like, it's not on Blu-ray.
What?
It's like
it's not on Blu-ray?
It's
that makes no sense.
really crappy DVD.
True Lies is great.
And James Cameron. I also follow James Cameron.
Filmmaker James Cameron. Of The Abyss, perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps you've heard of The Abyss.
I'm a fan of his earlier work, Piranha 2 in particular.
Oh, Piranha 2, The Spawning.
The Spawning.
In which, wherein the titular piranhas take to the air to bite the bikinis off of suntanned co-eds.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
I have.
It was shot at Aquarina Springs.
What?
In wherever that is, but Texas.
Really?
I mean, like 30 minutes away from here.
Wow.
Yeah, they did a screening of Piranha 2, The Spawning.
We should go to a stream there.
Yeah. Until we get
that movie.
kicked out. Yeah, we're just like
On location.
Yeah.
We should start doing on location
we
streams.
should.
Go up to Dealey Plaza. Do a 4-hour stream about
JFK.
JFK, talking about conspiracies.
But it's just all like I'm just gonna, because I don't know anything about it. Like I do, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, like Donald Sutherland comes in at the end, he explains it all real good, and like this is the FBI, like the FBI. So like the FBI and like Castro and like it's like Cuban Missile Crisis, and there's like Natalie Portman play Jackie.
I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
He ate a lot of paint chips as a kid.
Yeah. Avatar. Oh, Tommy Boy. Avatar. Heard of it? Yeah. Avatar 1 through 6.
Can I ask you one more thing about James Cameron? Are you excited that he is doing 4 more Avatar movies, or would you have?
What are you going to say? I really want to hear the end of it.
It wasn't.
It sounded like you were going to give me another option. Would you rather have James Cameron do 4 more Avatar movies?
Punched
Here's a
in the balls?
rusty screwdriver, and you pick the orifice.
I saw your face fall, and I was like, "Oh, I don't need to ask this question
No,
anymore."
Here's the deal. It's exhausting to me just to think of the effort that is.
You're making 4 more.
Crazy.
5 total.
Here's the thing. Recently, I went to Disney World with my family.
Cool.
You've
got a family, and
Avatar.
you got to go to Disney World.
This went weird.
That's great.
Yeah. We spent way too much money. We went on the Avatar ride. It's the best ride
What do you do?
I've ever been on. It's really great. You walk in, and there are just bags of money everywhere. And you look at it, and then they go, and they just move it.
Yeah.
They just throw it in the fire. And I go, wow.
And it's like, what does this represent? It's like, this is how James Cameron unwinds.
Yes.
Every night.
And you go, that's amazing. And you walk into the next room, and there's a guy, and there's a Disney employee there. And you go, man, that looks like Sam Worthington. And he goes, it is me.
I work it out.
This is a good gig.
It's a great gig.
Yeah.
I'm full on the Cameron train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
And I'm
do
like,
what he
Sam
tells
Worthington, if a football was a person, it would be you. You are the.
To be fair, I saw him in that
I
movie.
think I like him.
Well, because you really like footballs.
I'm like, that's like the toughest looking dude ever. What? He is. He's cool. He's a cool guy. Cool. I like Sam Worthington. What's wrong with you? It's fine. Everything's fine.
Toughest looking guy
He's like
ever.
he's a cool, like, tough guy.
Toshiro Mifune, Schwarzenegger, Stallone.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. He's a good guy. I like him.
Okay.
I feel like I said he was
know
like,
him?
no. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah. Look, I feel like I called him a football, and that's not a nice thing to say. I just meant like he just looks like a.
Because it's funny, and it's just not nice.
But
it's really
cool.
funny.
He's a tough guy. He's like a cool, tough, strong guy, and I am not a cool, tough, strong guy. I get he's cool.
You didn't even do him the service of like naming like a sentient being. You're like, you're a football, and that's about all you're gonna ever.
No, he's like he's cool. I think he's cool.
Did you ever see Avatar? And you're like, that football movie? Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, I watch it. I do a double feature, and I watch.
That's what you're wrong.
I watch Samwise Gamgee, in Notre Dame, and then I do the weird blue people.
Yeah.
The football.
Yeah, when he has sex with cat people. I wanted it so like there's that really tender moment. I like Sam Worthington. I just think he's like I'm like oh man, if I was like a tough dude like that, I'd get action roles.
Your gut instinct was to call him a football though. So
what
do you mean by that?
He just looks like a tough football player guy.
That's not what you said.
That's what I meant.
But your subconscious came out saying just a football. You said his talent equates to what a football is.
No, that's not what I meant. I just meant he's the
Like
human equivalent of a football. He's cool. He's a cool guy.
Firm grip.
He's like the kind of guy that every dad would be proud of.
We're starting to break it down now.
You know what I mean?
Oh, so you really do like Sam Worthington?
Yeah.
Because dads love football.
Yeah.
And when you don't play football and you're an actor growing up,
and you just go do your little show on the internet where you're talking about the movies that you're not in.
and you're like, Dad, I played Macbeth, and like he's like, I wish you were a football.
Like Sam Worthington. And I go, no, I'm just whatever.
That's great.
Yeah,
because we really broke down your mental psyche there.
It's a joke.
It's all jokes. It's all
Jokes.
jokes. It's all make
jokes.
believe. It's all pretend.
That's why you're laughing so much, because it's jokes. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead because
Go
I feel like
ahead for
mine is worthy.
10.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say? Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Avatar. This is what I wanted. Like, the part where she's like, "I see you, Jake Sully," and he's like,
I don't remember. I saw it once.
They're
and
big
then
cats.
It just
They're
went
cat
in
people?
and out.
It's like
Yeah, they're big
Fern
blue.
Belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like, the guy's like, "I'm in a mech," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Cool." And then she's like, "Please."
What was that?
She talks funny. She does like a. She goes, "Jake Sully, you complete me," or whatever. And then she's like, "I see you," and he's like, "I like being seen by you." All right. And then, then she goes, nah. And he goes, "I don't care about the forest." And then she goes, "Look at me, I am attractive. I care about the forest." And he goes, "Oh, I care a little bit. I care a little bit about the forest now. All right. All these like glow in the dark horses you got over there. That's cool. All right." And then and then she takes him to a magical spot, and she goes, "Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon?"
Right,
and he's
yep.
like, I have. And she was like, "No, you haven't." And he's like, "I'd like to hear the wolf cry to your blue corn vagina." And then she's like,
And you say blue corn vagina?
"Yeah, that sounds like a condition, doesn't it? Doesn't that sound like a condition?" And then Navi voice, yeah. I need to go back to therapy. Yeah, this is what this is, man. That's why I do this. No, and then she's like, "I see you because now you like kind of care about the wildlife." And he's like,
"I sure do."
I'm like, "That's right. Like, if you're wildlife, I just want to get under that loincloth, please. Can I please move the beads? Let's move the beads and just do the boopity boop. We're gonna flippity boop. We're gonna have okay, babies. That's nice. All right, Rocco's mom. Rocco's mom. No, sorry. I'm sorry, but he doesn't talk with an Australian accent in that movie. But he goes, just like, "Can we, please?" You got the dream catcher, move it out of the way.
He's very direct.
He's right. He's like, "Excuse me, flop, legs up here," and she's like, "You care about the forest, though." And
He's like, "I sure do."
"I do." All right. And then, but they like whatever, and then they like entwine their hair ponytails together. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
But I wanted it to be like, "Here we go," and then he's like, and then they're gonna whatever, and then her maw like just opens up and just goes, and they just like devour it.
We're making love.
And you're like, and he's like, "Yeah, man, we're giant cat people. Why'd you think nothing's normal?
How did you think this was gonna work?"
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it was all right. We'll do it again. Let's see. I care about the forest. There, can we do it again? Can we do what you did earlier? I liked it. Felt good. Can we do it? I'll move there we go. The dream catcher out of the way. Go to town.
Yeah, 5 movies of that. 5 movies.
But the next one's gonna be like water. Look, man.
Is that what he's doing? Like, and then the next one will be the air.
Water, fire, heart.
So he looked at
No, I
Captain
don't know.
Planet and he said, they got to figure it out.
No, I think they're going to be. I'm interested because he just moves technology forward.
That's why I'm interested and why I'll go see him, because he's always that guy that like pushes it so far. Like everybody thought Titanic was gonna sink the fucking studio. They were like, this is gonna be a catastrophe, and then it came out, and it's one of the greatest movies ever made. I bought it like last week, and I watched it because I've been listening to the score a lot. I told him I was listening to the score, and he gave me this look. It was a genuine.
I did not do that.
It was a genuine look of befuddlement. He was just like, "What?
Wait, really?
Yeah." And I was like,
Wait, this truly happened?
Yeah. I was like, "I've been listening to the Titanic suite," and you went like this. And
I said,
like,
Jeff.
"Oh, we don't share this. I'm gonna stop talking." Got it.
No, it's James Horner. I'm on board.
Well, that's why I thought I had an in. And
I'm on
then,
board.
And then I immediately, the same way that you called Sam Worthington a football, the look on your face was your true reaction. Watching that movie, though, I'm like, yeah, that's amazing spectacle, and it really is like from beginning to end, it's an amazing Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
As an adult watching it for the first time, I was like, I can't.
Wait, had you not seen it?
Not since I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
But I was just like, oh, like they're back and forth. Their whole relationship, that the whole movie's anchored on.
You've made so many. I feel like they're inadvertent too, because you said Titanic came out and they thought it was going to sink the studio.
I didn't.
Yeah, and then you said, what else did you say? Gosh darn it, you said.
I was like, their performances are a real iceberg.
Yeah! Oh my gosh, you said something else that I was like, that's on purpose, and then you didn't. It wasn't on purpose, and then you just said it's anchored. Man,
It is crazy to me that movie. I get it. Like even now, I'm just like contextually, I'm like, okay, yeah, but it really is a teen movie with an incredible budget and an incredible last act.
Mm-hmm.
And like the effects hold up, and it's all like anytime it's not about the romance, it's really quite good. But
like
boy,
you mean the Billy Zane scenes?
I fucking love him in it.
Billy Zane's great.
He's going full arch, and his eyebrows.
Yeah.
He's like, this is what my character arc is.
Yeah.
The further this eyebrow goes up, is the more villainous I'm gonna be.
And he goes, yeah, I wish I could do a Billy Zane impression.
I thought you
can't.
could.
I know. He just goes, well, darling. I just can't. It's just great. Billy Zane's great. We need to do a Billy Zane month. Which would be like maybe half a month. But like.
Oh, no.
'Cause it's-
Titanic? Phantom.
Oh, I've not seen the Phantom.
Oh. Yeah.
Because here's the other one. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight.
Oh.
Tell me you have not seen it.
I've not seen
Oh my gosh! It's the greatest Billy Zane performance of all time.
it. Should we do Macbeth month?
Billy
Zane
Zane
month.
month. I bet Billy Zane played Macbeth. He seems like we can spot.
I really like
if you
Billy
played
Zane.
Macbeth, you can spot someone.
That's how that works. When you walk down the street, you have Macbeth vision.
I have Macbeth dar.
Here's the thing about the Titanic score that I want to say. I understand it's been parodied to. Okay,
Just-
I'm not talking
gonna-
about the song. I'm talking about the actual
No, I'm just
score.
gonna do it under it while you talk. In my dreams,
When it hits,
see you.
when it hits that, there's like a certain note. It goes. When it hits that note, and they replay, it's that little sequence played over and over and over and over. Like James Horner's like, this is gold, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep spinning this, and then when it finishes, we won't fill it out with other stuff.
Yeah.
We'll just play that more. Anytime it hits that high note, I want to cry instantly.
Yeah, right.
It's like crazy.
Sure.
And at this point, because I bought the movie and I was like, I want to rewatch this. Maybe I just need to revisit it because I always didn't have like the greatest opinion of it. But and then I watched it and I was like, fuck, this is like he scientifically made a song that will just make tears burst out of your eyes. Because watching the movie, I was not invested in that relationship whatsoever, especially as an adult being like, you have known each other for 48 hours. And you're like, I'll never let go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come back to you when I'm 90 and I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to you, not my husband who I lived my life with after the fact, but I'm going back to you in my ghost days.
Because he was poor. And danced with her. Took her down.
He was poor.
And then and he liked her because she was rich.
That's right.
Yep. It's a classic.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Like, cause she was just like, I need to rebel against my stuffy, whatever existence. Someone come defile me. I'll pick a lower person.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And that lower person was like, I want to get in some
rich.
And he's like, he's like, come here, let me paint you. And she's like, I want you to paint me like one of your French girls, and then I want you to fuck me like one of them your Australian girls.
Wait, what? Where's that accent coming from?
Oh, sorry. I care about the forest. Is that still on the table that we need to do? All right. I care about the environment. The forest is crying. Oh, whatever it is. Yeah, okay. Great Expectations on a boat. Yeah, exactly. I maybe need to revisit it. When we do Cameron.
When
we do
it's
Cameron,
a fun watch,
yeah.
but it's an incredibly cheesy, and like they say each other's names.
Jack.
So much.
Rose.
All the time. In every conversation,
Jack!
in every sentence that they say, they start it with their names or end it with their names. No, Jack. No, Jack. Jack. No, Jack.
Rose, you gotta go, Rose, you gotta go back to Billy Zane, Rose. Oh, we can't. There's like some furniture here. I can't get past. There's Rose.
You really did hit it on the head. She just wanted to have her fun, and then at the end, she was like, "I'm gonna sleep on this door that is built for two, and you poor little gutter trash are gonna. I'll never let go.
Come on,
but here we go."
It's like. Yeah, and she's like, and then I get to like live my life, be rich, super cool.
I got what I wanted.
Everything's cool.
I got the little diamond.
And then I get to like, if I ever want to feel like I'm deep or have some substance, I'll just remember back to that time.
Yeah.
I went slumming it, and that kid painted me.
I slummed it for 48 hours.
Yeah. And then like he found me a door, and I was like, thanks a lot.
Do I
tip you? What do I do?
I look fondly at doors now.
Yeah,
like I always I get
super great door. Yeah, it's like this is like a really nice. I mean, it's not like the nicest door, the nicest doors, but like Jack like really helped me out. I like how someone broke down the math for how much that door could hold, and it could totally hold two people.
Oh, it's big. He doesn't even try, and like I do like his performance in that moment. I kind of like his performance overall. Sure. It's weird because I love Kate Winslet, but she's so young in this, and that I just don't think she's very good in it.
I wonder if it's well.
It's not bad, but it's just
I mean, it's not Kate Winslet is what it is. I mean, it is, but it's like you're like. Oh,
but what's weird is she had done Heavenly Creatures already, and she's amazing in that.
I feel like Cameron maybe is not that much of a of a performance director. He's just like, cool. Does the boat look good?
Yeah, because we spent a lot on the boat.
Yeah. Here, here's $500. Just shut up, and let me stay out of the way of my special effects. Just get in front of the greens. Just who cares? We'll green screen you. Shut up.
How much do I have to pay you right now to end this conversation?
Can we get Bill Paxton in here? He's the only one who understands me.
Oh God. Even he in this movie, and I love Bill Paxton. Even he's really over the top in this one.
Yeah, and she's like, I
thought I
sank
knew what
in the boat.
He's like, I thought I knew what Titanic was, but I never let it in. I never let it in.
Is that real? Did he really say that?
He says, I never let it in.
And then
after her story's done, and you think the movie's about to be over, but she's got to throw her $1 billion diamond into the water. He's like out there with the cigar. He's like, I've been saving this cigar until I found the treasure. But I realized, and he said something. It's like, I just never let it in.
I go, wow, Bill. Is this story about you? Do we need this from the interviewer? Is that what?
Pays me.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of money.
Cool, man. Yeah.
That was good in True Lies, though.
You're
Right?
really good in True Lies. That was the turning point for me, where I was like, oh.
He was great in Aliens.
Yeah. Yes. Truly.
I mean,
truly. But then True Lies, I was like, oh.
yeah. You're like, oh, it's conscious.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's exactly right. And I go,
Totally.
oh, now you're a genius.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and then you're like, oh, you can direct frailty. I get it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're like you're an intelligent guy, and you're just not. I know. I love Bill. Gosh, of course. Who doesn't love Bill Paxton?
Bill Paxton's the best. He's the best.
And then she's like, I was on the ship and it sank. The ship sank. He goes, geez, Rose, is that what you think it did? You can't escape it. You can't predict it. It's an iceberg, Rose. Game over. It's really, I mean, yeah.
You get it out.
That was a
You
really
get it out of
bad
your
Paxton.
system.
You're a really bad Paxton.
You really shoehorn that one in.
Yeah,
Usually you're really subtle about how you get it in there, but you were like, Titanic? Bill Paxton, here we go.
I'm gonna try to get that Twister monologue in there. When the boat is sinking and you decide to go full Emperor Nero. Yeah. Remember when those nerds kept playing their violins? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then that was like played as a very emotional, noble moment at the end. It's like, gentlemen, it's been an honor playing with you this evening.
Yeah, and then
and you're like, you're all about to die.
He looks around and the other cellos are spinning. They've just Looney Tunes out of there.
George!
Yeah. Oh man. I lost my hand. I lost my boat. Johnny has his hand. Johnny still has his boat. What am I supposed to do? Put it in there and forget? That's
Glover.
Cage.
Oh, that's Cage.
That's Cage.
I thought that was. Are you okay?
No, yeah. Yeah, that's the. Give me a milk. Chocolate. And your density. I mean, your destiny.
I love how he drinks that chocolate milk. He's like,
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah. Darth Vader came down from the planet Vulcan and said, if I don't take her to the enchantment under the... Whatever. The Swiss Army impression. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about... Whatever.
I mean, it's awesome. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. Here's the deal. This is what... I just feel like... I wish it had been made with Bill Paxton, Keanu Reeves, and Nicolas Cage. And I think it would have gone a little something
like that.
Like... Thank you for killing him before that happened.
Guys, come down to Austin. Come to the local community theater stage where he will be doing a one-man Macbeth, playing all characters: Bill Paxton, Nicolas Cage, Crispin Glover, Keanu Reeves. Who else do you do?
No one.
Featuring an Australian guy, Sean Connery. And you do one other one.
Christopher Walken.
Who?
Christopher Walken. I do Christopher Walken.
I just wanted you to say it loud.
Shut
We
up.
all know you do Christopher Walken, you son of a bitch. You're constantly doing it.
I just forgot it.
Ted Danson. Do you do Ted Danson?
Oh, I wish I could do Ted Danson.
How does Ted Danson do?
I don't know. He just is cooler than everyone in the room.
Yeah, he is cool.
He just goes. All right, so where's everyone? I'm just gonna go there. He's amazing.
He's just gonna go.
He's just amazing. Ted Danson's great.
I
do Krusty the Clown.
List all of the goddamn impressions that you do, so we can get it out.
This is my dad going, should have had Sam Worthington. So here's the deal. Like, where were we? What happened last?
He just died.
Okay, no.
He saw the trees, and it was amazing.
In the play, he's kind of like left alone. He's just, everyone's sort of turning on him. He's kind of, everything's desperate, and someone comes to him and goes, "My lord, the woods are coming to Dunsinane. The trees, they're moving." Mm-hmm. And Macbeth comes, "The hell you say?" And he's just like, "Get out!" Whatever. And he goes, that, and he just goes, "Ha ha 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 ha."
Yeah.
And he grabs his sword and runs out of the castle. and is just like, screw it, I'm just gonna murder everyone I see. And he just runs out of the castle, sees a dude who's trying to stop him, young Seward, runs him through, and just goes dead. And then he finally runs into Macduff. So this is where the whole thing takes. They decided.
Yeah. What happens in the
Throne of Blood? No.
No.
In Macbeth.
In the Kurosawa version.
Oh, I think it's pretty close to this. I can't really remember the end, but you know, I just remember those two big moments. But yeah. So what happened? Well, I mean, it's a faithful adaptation. So this is what they did. But he runs out and he's like just he's just trying to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
And he kills one dude and he runs into Macduff, who's kind of like the foil, right?
Right.
And he shows up in the movie and it's Morgan Freeman. It's Japanese Morgan Freeman. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's great. And so Macduff shows.
It is?
Yeah, it's what's his name?
Takeshi Shimura?
Yeah. Right? Shimura, right?
Okay. This I mean, you've got to be correct. But this is before I knew who he was, so I'm not putting the face to it.
What's that? Okay. Yeah, it's him, right? Oh crap! Put your brother's job up, and then I think I'm getting things and I just haven't looked at them. But I
That's
think
like a 15-hour day.
6 to 9. Oh, that's a long day.
That's a long day.
That's a long day. Whatever. I think it's Shimura. I think it's him. Anyway, so Macbeth tries to, and then he runs into Macbeth, who's like, he runs into Macduff, who's like, you killed my wife and my children, and you're ruining the country, and you're the devil. And Macbeth's like, bring it, motherfucker. And he's like, okay. And he's like, because the witches told me. He's like, oh, so they're fighting and and he goes, ha 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 ha, and he goes, do your worst, because no man who was born of woman can kill me. And Macduff goes, that's interesting, because I was a C-section. Blah!
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's like,
so the tree aspect never comes into play in any meaningful
no, the tree.
way.
No, it definitely does. It is sort of the beginning of the end, and it is what makes him. Someone comes and goes, the trees are coming, and he's like, what? And then he looks, and then he looks out and he says, yeah, they're like, they were hiding their numbers. They're using tree branches to hide.
So
their
that's
numbers.
not just specific to Throne of Blood.
No, it is.
Cool.
It is a direct.
Gotcha.
Interpretation. They just cut that other part where Macduff is the one who kills him.
Yeah.
Macduff cuts his head off, and he just. But he's the deal is, it's kind of like that thing. I feel like, that Lord of the Rings thing, which I have not seen the third movie, but
how is that possible?
Because
it's the best one.
It would have to be. Sorry. Sorry.
The opening hymn of this movie reminds me of the Miner's hymn from the first Hobbit movie. So.
You watched the first Hobbit movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you put the Titanic soundtrack on while you watched?
It had the Titanic soundtrack in the background. I had just finished Stalker. I started The Hobbit. I watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I'm very well versed.
You do. You are. It's true. But anyway, gosh darn it, what was I saying? I can't remember because I stopped to make a joke.
Yeah, you were talking about the trees, and then
in the Lord of the Rings movie, the third one, apparently someone's like, "No man can kill me," and she goes, "I am no man," which is
that does happen.
Which is like, to me, is Tolkien going like, "Oh, that's a version of this."
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like a. I mean, I think it's. Well, I never saw it.
Yeah.
Does it happen in the second or third one?
The third
I
one.
don't care.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's a.
What?
Shouty!
Real quick. What?
We're not gonna. Go ahead.
Real quick. Let's just talk about the all three Lord of the Rings movies. Where are you going?
Trying to get as fast as I can. Shouty! Thank you for this 28 months. 20 months later, that's a movie title. You got it. Yeah, usually I try to be like really diplomatic and kind about stuff, but I called Sam Worthington football. I like him. He's a nice.
I don't think you do. I think you want to like him, but
do.
I think your deep, like, initial
I haven't
gut
seen
reaction
enough
to
with
Sam Worthington is that man is about as talented as a football.
No, not talented as a football. I just think he is the human.
You don't think
equivalent.
he's as talented as a football? Let's not give him credit where credit isn't due.
What else is he in?
He's great as a very small supporting character in that Everest movie.
Oh yeah,
which was pretty good.
It was good, yeah. That movie
he was great.
That movie was sad.
It was super fucking
Into that
sad.
movie, I was like, "Stop it!
Yeah,
don't do that."
I read the book is awesome. It's called that Into Thin Air. It's an amazing book, and I actually thought for a big Hollywood movie, it was fucking great.
And Jason, what's his face?
Yeah, he was great.
That guy, another Australian guy.
They're all Australian.
They're all Australian. Isla Fisher is Australian.
What?
She is. I just thought.
Does she have an accent? That's attractive.
Hold on. Let me do my Isla Fisher.
Please.
Should be Sacha Baron Cohen, because they're married, I think. You do
okay.
Sacha Baron.
I got it.
And go. Ask me, what we're doing today.
It's nice.
You go. Oi.
Oi.
Oi. What did you say? Booyakasha.
Yeah.
Word. So, isn't it? Yeah. Oi. Lit.
And then.
Fam. Oi. Isla. Oi. Oh. Do we have any hot pockets left? Oh. Oi. And she goes. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask our children. They're half Roo and half Buckingham Palace Guard. Oi! Aye, Sheila's! We named them both Sheila. Sheila and Block, those are the names. And they come hopping in.
Yeah. Well, they gotta be. It's weird. I bet they're actually probably average height. Cause she's like 4'2",
yeah, and he's
like 9'11". Yeah.
The my wife. Yeah, he's in Terminator Salvation, which is not a bad. That's a good match. He's a good. That's
very mean. You just said he's a good match for the critical equivalent.
Stoic.
He's the yeah.
Stoic.
In terms of
tough.
Like, if I had to compare like his talent to what a movie was, I would probably just choose Terminator vs. Salvation.
No, you're just being mean about McG.
McG. His little McMovies.
This is just so
weird. I hate that guy.
No, you don't. You know what's good?
We are Marshall.
That's good. That's a good movie.
Is it?
It is.
He's like Michael Bay, but without any of the fun. Like, at least with Michael Bay, I'm like, oh, you're like pretty much mentally challenged. And like, that's. but you got like an insane amount of money to make really misogynistic, terrible movies.
What's misogynistic about? Okay. We're Marshall. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Yeah, it's just like he's got all the style of McBay.
McBain.
McBay. Of Bay, but he doesn't. He just never leans into it enough to where I'm like, you have no distinct. I don't know. At least with the Michael Bay movie, I'm like, this is a fucking Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that he did We Are Marshall.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, what are his other movies besides Charlie's Angels?
Charlie's Angels, We Are Marshall, Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, I would have never known that it was a Terminator Salvation movie. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, Lumet did his thing, but guess what? He's not Lumet.
Yeah. Well, I like the part in We Are Marshall where Matthew McConaughey.
Jesus Christo.
No, but that's not the point.
Do we have a ticker? Because we gotta put one on. How many times you've mentioned you've been in Macbeth and how many impersonations you've done. And how you've been like, no, I know. Hey, by the way, I like really like We Are Marshall, and then I go off and I don't take the bait, and you're like, yeah, totally. But like, I really love We Are Marshall. Ask me about We Are Marshall.
Here's the part that
Please. Got something to say.
I'm such a piece of trash. Here's what I like. He goes, all right, boys. So no. He goes, all right. So, what were you getting? He's like, so here. No, you're not doing it right. Here. Somebody throw him into Sam Worthington. That's it. I wanted to just. I just wanted. He's like, you gotta grip it. You gotta grip it. The Sam, gotta grip the Sam.
Little Sammy.
And he's like, whoop. And he goes, oh, yeah, you doing all right there? And he's like, hey, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right there. Lovely.
McGee actually thinks he's an artist. What does that mean? Has he spoken about how talented he is?
What's the other McGee movie?
Look, I know how hard it is to make movies. He's not like a bad filmmaker, I guess, but it's showing for me.
What did you do?
I don't know.
Like,
I got the vapors.
yeah. You just turned into.
I'm like genuinely lightheaded because I've been laughing so much.
Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. So not just Charlie's Angels.
Oh, he did like 3 of those, right?
I don't know. Terminator Salvation, We Are Marshall, 3 Days to Kill. Oh, really?
Wait, what?
That Kevin Costner thing. The comedians.
I just have a hard time with people with one name director names.
He directed the Lethal Weapon TV show.
Oh, that's cool.
A movie called Babysitter. Shadowhunters.
What has Pitoff done since Catwoman? Pitoff.
Is it like Pilaf, but
P-I-T? O-F.
Oh, O-F. Pitoff. Movie whose title has more consonants in it than vowels. Vidoc. V-I-D-O-C-Q. Yep.
My knowledge of McGee comes entirely from that interview Christian Bale gave where he trashes him, says he gave him a whole spiel about his vision for Terminator and how he wouldn't let him down, and Bale's super salty about it.
Wow.
What's crazy is I remember when the Terminator Salvation trailer came out, and I was like, that looks fucking awesome.
Really?
Then I knew it was a McGee movie, and I was like, this is not going to be great. And then I actually watched it, and it was not great.
They make these like green Terminator, like army-looking Terminator things, and I was like, that's why.
It's such an interesting universe, and I can't believe how lame every sequel has been after Terminator 2. It's just like, I don't even know why. They're doing another one that's coming out with Linda Hamilton in it.
Yeah.
And Arnold again. And I'm just like, it doesn't matter to me if you get people from the original anymore. You suck at like building this world in any interesting way except for repeating Terminator 2 in some other variation of that.
It's hard, yeah. It's
so silly.
I don't know. I mean, it would be great to have another good one. I don't know. We'll see. Oh boy.
You know why the first 2 were good? Because James Cameron made them. Like, that's just it.
Yeah. We'll I don't know. There's an Austin actor dude who's the new Terminator.
I'm super stoked for him too.
I know, it's amazing.
Like, I'm very excited for him because my buddy is good, like his best friend, and like, it's awesome. Like, I'm so excited for him. When that trailer came out, I was just like, Jesus Christ! Like, this doesn't look good. And it's by the guy who did Deadpool. And I was just like, that seems like it has potential, but that trailer was not promising.
Loki! Thank you for those 14 months. Lots and lots of love. Remember the Luchador lady? I went to her stream the other day and mentioned you. She went and recorded a duet with you. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Thank you so much. Kurosawa! I'm going to bed. Good night. Good night, Loki. Thank you for those 14 months of unbelievable. Thank you so much, my friend. I don't know what I'm doing ever. Ever. That is the one constant here. I never know what I'm doing. Hey, so. Anyway, he goes, I was a C-section. Yeah. It's a technicality. You're dead. Cuts his head off. And Macbeth goes, oh, I shouldn't have been the worst human in the world. And he goes, that's right. And then Macduff.
Is that how you played it when you played Macbeth?
Pretty much. Well, hold on. Let's see what people had to say.
Sexual in ways I never knew possible. Things he did with a sword. Wouldn't recommend to anyone.
I was a C-section. Psych. It's season 8, game of Thrones level twist. Well, don't tell me what the twists are, please.
Are you still watching it?
No, I want to. I'm on season 2.
Oh, well, he can spoil it then. Because you're on season 2, and it's been 10 years. Okay. Whoa, hey, look. Hey, don't talk about it, all right? It's 2019, and I'm on season 2. Are you still watching it? No, but I might.
It's fair. It's fair.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I just did a Cliff Notes version to just get up to speed. What?
That's yeah. Lorba will never see it. I will see it. I'll
It's
show
so much
you.
material. Like, that's why I stopped. I got behind, and I was like, I'm never gonna fucking catch up. Like, it's just too much stuff. It's too much stuff. I need like those British shows where it's just like, we made 2 episodes, and that's.
And then we had some tea. Then we had some
we had
pumpkins.
some tea.
We had to go. We had to stop because
It's
more,
like,
it was
would you like
afternoon.
season 4?
Yeah,
Well, we're not gonna do that.
that's gonna be like
Because we have a max of 6 episodes for the entire series.
yeah. So it's like first 30 minutes. That's season 1. The next 15 is season 2, and then we have a break. We have a nice bit of spot of tea. 7 months later, we release the third part of the first episode, which is seasons 4 and 5. And there's a retrospective, which is season 2, and then there's behind the scenes.
Right.
And that's it.
That sounds pretty good.
Broadchurch.
Roger's great.
I know this guy likes Broadchurch.
Broadchurch, if you haven't seen the first, I haven't
seen
seen the second season, but mainly because I loved the first season.
If
so
you've got
much.
45 minutes, you should watch seasons 1 and 2. It'll be great.
Quick one. You can have a lunch, and then you're done.
It's not a 5-episode miniseries. All right. So anyway, so they definitely change it. I do dig though. I mean, what an iconic ending. And what an impressive. I mean, they murdered that actor. He's dead.
Yeah, that was cool.
So that was. I mean, he's a great actor, and he died for it. So
Yeah.
he's such a good actor. He was back the next movie when he was like.
You know, they tried to do that with Sam Worthington, and
What happened?
well, he wasn't good enough to come back.
Okay.
He was like, my talent will see me through. And they were like,
he's a talented actor.
he deflated real quick
Oh.
because he's a football.
I wish I hadn't.
Have I seen Chernobyl? I just finished it.
How do you watch? How does everyone? I felt like you were on my team.
No,
I thought
I'm not
everyone.
on your team.
You go like whatever your team.
You don't
is.
like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I'm not on your team.
Look, man. Look.
How do you not like them?
Okay.
Have you
I'm
read-
trying to.
Oh my god! Are you a big book guy? Like, do you like the books a lot? Is that where this
I
is
never
stemming
read
from?
the books.
So it's just pure like on a movie level, you don't like them.
Yes.
What were you reaching for? Your notes?
I was gonna turn off.
Or just that pic? Were you gonna pawnbroker it and just shove your hands in?
So I could feel something. I was gonna. Nice call. Season episode 31
Season
of
31?
episode 31 of Filmography. It is 4 hours long, which is 7 seasons of Fawlty Towers and Broadchurch put together. I was gonna mute it because I was gonna say something.
Well, you should watch Chernobyl.
Oh, okay. Well, here's.
I don't know why I always say that. I'm just like, you should watch that, and then you're like, yeah, totally. And I'm like, you're never gonna watch that.
No, I will never watch
And
it.
then you come back to me, you're like, how do you find time to do so? I was like, I don't know. I just watch an episode an evening before I go to bed. It's pretty simple. And then I'm like, what do you do at night? And you're like, you know.
I just sit here and go. And then the subtitle appears. It's just silent screaming under my, just in real life, under me.
I'm like, you know, instead of doing that, you could probably just like watch like a 45-minute episode of show that you like, bring you some enjoyment.
And then my wife comes downstairs and goes, "Hi, honey,"
Oh,
because she's like, she does an Isla Fisher impression.
yeah,
It's like real.
it's really good.
And I go, "Yeah," and it's really,
That's dark.
and then we're off.
That's dark.
Yeah, I just go, and he goes, "I told them, no shooting, no shooting." What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He
6,
dies.
7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I think we're up to like almost 15 impressions tonight.
It's not an it's just
Wow.
it's just a reference. What am I supposed to not do an impression if I refer to it? Okay. All right. Does Jeff know about the time you had an opportunity to ask Sam Rockwell questions and you asked him about the Ninja Turtles?
I do, yeah.
That was after I spent a long time asking him questions about the but yeah. Spin your story.
I actually, that's one of the few times at South by that I saw someone like up close and it was him.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember for what. Oh, I went to the Moon premiere. The premiere of Moon. Yeah.
I interviewed him we were at the same South by.
Hey, cool. Did you like it? I remember him because of that fucking crazy leather jacket he was wearing. It was like a mauve, like burgundy, super shiny leather jacket. And I was just like, that's not what I thought you'd do. But all right.
Spin your web, Spider Jeff. We went and it was like early in the morning, and you know these guys are just like they press junkets have got to be exhausting.
Oh my god! Yeah,
like,
I can't imagine. Yeah.
Like and so this is not to, but like we go in and we're just kind of waiting around. And we're all sitting there and we're like, and Duncan Jones is there and we're like, hey Duncan, and he goes, hello, I'm Duncan Jones. I directed Moon, and
David Bowie's son.
I can't.
I could see what's interesting and quite hilarious to me at this point in the show is that when he's doing these impressions, his eyes are screaming at me for help. But he cannot stop.
It's true.
You're like Clayface in Batman the Animated Series when he's in the control room and all its characters are just bursting out of him all at once. Yeah. This is what's starting to happen.
You can see what does. Yes. But no, so Duncan Jones is over there and waiting, and we're like, Sam Rockwell's not there, and then we're kind of like, where's, and then all of a sudden the elevator
off with you.
Yeah, and he goes, but tell my wife I love her very much. She knows. Uh-huh. And the elevator dings, and Sam Rockwell comes out and goes, hush. Okay, and then and he just walked through, and I go, that's exactly
really
what I
is that
wanted.
really how he came
first
out?
Impression of Sam Rockwell.
He just looked really disoriented.
He just kind of was like, yeah, because he just like woke up.
Yeah, right.
And he was just kind of like, he goes, oh, hey. Cool. Yeah, that was Michael.
That's good.
That was Michael Keaton. And he sits down, and they bring eggs for him, and he's like eating.
Yeah.
And he was great. He's just wonderfully. Cool. It was great. And then later I went to
yeah, he seemed cool.
He's amazing.
Yeah, like I lingered in the lobby, and he just seemed like a really nice, down-to-earth dude. And I'm like, you're like one of the greatest actors I've ever seen.
I know. Yeah.
He's like really quite good.
He's very good at acting.
He's very good at acting.
Very good at acting. He's in the right profession. It's not like,
what kind of sport apparatus would you say that he is? Mm-hmm. If you have a Worthington football, which makes it sound a lot classier. What would a Rockwell be?
He's a catcher's mitt?
It's not great.
Oh, okay. Well, what is good?
It's
He's a highlight.
It's a trick question.
He's a high. Oh.
You can't call someone a catcher's mitt and say that's a compliment.
This is just a very, it's supposed to be a subtle lesson in how to treat human beings. And you are failing with flying colors. I like how they shoot him a bunch with arrows at the end. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is. No, it is very. It's much more. I don't know, like, because he could come downstairs and go out and get his head cut off by Macbeth. Mm. And Kurosawa would have made that look great.
Yeah.
But it's much. It is what. It's so cinematic and so terrifying to have him be up there going like, and then, and he's
well,
like,
and
what?
And like thematically like relevant to like how hard it is for like when someone's that crazy with ego and power and blah blah blah. How hard it is
to do a podcast with him.
Wait, I'm the football. It's hard to take someone down like when you have that much. Gusto, you know what I mean? And I just thought that was a really cool visual representation. So when it gets to that shot that we referenced earlier, and it's just all these things like life sticking out of them that took them down, the inevitable. I just thought that was really poetic.
It is, yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's an awesome movie, and apparently a nice interpretation of Macbeth overall.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I need to go.
Okay.
But next week,
and
it's probably gonna be next Wednesday. We're gonna do the one that, frankly, I wanted. This was why I wanted to do this month. We're doing Kurosawa's High and Low, and I would honestly, of all of them, this is the one I'd be like, if you should watch it. Like, even if you've seen it before, like, give it a rewatch or seek it out, because it's really good. And it's not a samurai movie. It's a modern, for the time, police procedural.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see something that doesn't take place in feudal Japan. I don't say that as like a, I love these movies. These movies are fantastic. I would love to see what he does.
It is.
Yeah. I think this Kurosawa he's an up and comer. He's a guy to watch.
Yeah, that's what I would say. So check it out.
Yeah. I wanted to mention within that final that volley of arrows that takes him down.
Yeah.
Man, that final killing jump cut is so great. Where he's just in there and he just goes, he's like, and then there's and I was like, that was awesome. I rewound that and watched it like 3 or 4 times. I was like, and that's obviously a jump cut. Yeah. But it's great. It's about as perfect as
I wonder how long,
because he just
they must have put a lot of effort into making that work, because it's great.
I watch, man, and the thing is, like, you watch these movies and this is like, and I'm not but like, you watch The Hobbit or you watch Lord of the Rings, you do, and the CG camera flips around.
I know.
And then there's a horde of like a video game coming at you, and you go, cool, I'll pretend that has weight. And you watch this, and there are just hordes of men and horses.
It's different.
Running, and it's just, and they're just such great. The practical, because they by virtue of the fact that they had to be, they're practical effects. I just love when they're when he goes back and he's looking for the spirit again, and it runs across in the background.
Yeah,
that was freaking great. What was it? Hold on. Was that arrow thing is unbelievable. That like where he gets essentially the Bonnie and Clyde scene at the end is like one of the most amazing. Because I was just watching, I was like, okay, those are real arrows. Yeah. I can tell. He's in mortal peril right now.
Watching all his movies, I've just really become hyper aware of how crazy scary arrows are. Like it's just really it's such a simple idea, and you're like, oh man, that is to be in battle and then just to have those flying around. I don't know. I mean. And you would be like, yeah, well, bullets are worse. But I'm like, I don't know. There's just something about an arrow. It's just like, yeah, but it might not kill you. And then it would just be incredibly painful.
It sucks.
Like with a bullet, you're like, oh, I'm going to get shot in the head. Cool. If you get shot in the head with an arrow, you're not going to die right away, probably.
You're going to go, is it? Nope, dead. Could I pot? Mm-mm.
It's not one of those ones that like comes, oh, no, this is a real
one. It's not a Steve Martin. Goodness.
Watch those two are just not The Hobbit. Yes, so
yeah.
I did not like the Hobbit movies, but then I found out everything that went into the Hobbit movies. So.
You're gonna be like, well, excuse me, princess. Yeah. Okay. I mean, so where would you? So of these 3, rank them.
7 Samurai, and then we've got, what else did we do?
Yojimbo,
and then Throne of Blood. I'd go Samurai, Throne of Blood, Yojimbo.
So would I.
And then if I had to put High and Low in there, I would go High and Low.
Dang.
7 Samurai.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Interesting that I'm excited.
That's how much I really responded to High and Low. Like, I was just like, I know that's a weird, probably not going to be agreed upon opinion for the most part, but like, I just thought High and Low was just like, oh, this is like a guy who's made a bunch of masterpieces, making something relatively small, but milking it for all it's worth on a thematic level, on a societal level, on performances, and it's just so interesting. Hey! I like the guy. He's just like, here we go.
Poor friends, you'll like you cause you're poor.
She really did just want that poor dick.
She wants to. She wants to take over on the side,
like,
wrong
"Don't
side
bathe."
of the tracks. Yeah, right. She's trying to. She doesn't respect you or your life. Yeah.
That kind of makes Titanic one of my favorite camera movies. If I view it through that prism, where she was just playing an intricate mind game, like a Cruel Intentions type thing. She's just molding him, and she's just like, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my way with him, and then I'm gonna kill him.
We need to more.
But at first, I'm gonna make him fall in love with me.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna make him give me his door.
And I'm gonna get a sweet painting out of it.
I get a sweet painting out of it.
Yeah. We need to watch Cruel Intentions. Nope.
No, we don't.
Just because so I can just sit there and scream as soon as the movie turns, and then just scream the entire time.
I am color blind.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I
it's
can't even,
it's
really?
like in the movie like 9 times.
What is that? That's a song from Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, it's Counting Crows.
Oh.
Coffee black and egg white. Yeah. You know what the guy from the Counting Crows looks like?
Yes.
Yeah. He's in football.
He goes, oh man.
He dated Courtney
Cana
Cox.
Maria.
Yeah, what's that one?
I'm down in Spanish dance because I want to be so truly. I want to be something beautiful.
That's got to be impression number 20. You have covered a wide spectrum and like pulled things out of your hat, like the lead singer of Counting Crows. You got that in your tool belt now.
I feel like the 90s had more than their share of bands who just had lead singers who sounded like they just, like almost like gimmicky, weird sounding lead singers.
I think like the Counting Crows guy, like half of his vocal range came from the fact whenever he performed, he was constantly, he would like not jump up and down, but he would constantly like put his arms behind his back and then he'd go, and he'd be like, and I'm like, oh, that's where that inflection's coming from. You're not standing still.
Yeah. To be fair though, if you put on a Counting Crows song right now, my heart will swell. I like them.
Oh, what do you think I was listening to on the way over?
Wanna be someone to believe,
I've got a Counting Crows Titanic mix.
Yeah.
It's it'll make you cry.
Yeah. And the ladies loved it. They do. I love it. I am ready. Oh yeah.
I am ready. And then they're like, where is who's in the Cruel Intentions?
Ryan Philippe.
Yeah.
And Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
And like
Selma Blair.
Selma Blair. I was gonna say Celia Ward, not the same person at all, but kind of like a baby Celia Ward. Is Celia Ward also in Cruel Intentions as Selma Blair's mother? Because that would make all the sense in the entire world. But probably not. But I think maybe she is.
I don't know who that is.
Also, Sean. I always want to call him Sean Patrick Flannery. It's not Sean Patrick Flannery.
I loved Sean
It's
Patrick
not him.
Flannery.
It's Sean, not Sean William Scott. Sean. It's the Save the Last Dance. This guy. He teaches Julia Stiles.
I don't know.
Oh well, he teaches Julia Stiles how to dance.
You're doubling down on the reference, and I don't know.
So there's a film.
He said, he was like, from Save the Last Dance, I was like, I don't know that film. And you're like, well, he teaches.
But that's the whole movie. That's the whole movie is
And I'm like, yeah.
white
No,
girl
I got
in
it.
the 90s, and an African American guy teaches her how to hip hop dance.
Oh,
Say his last name.
from O?
No, that's Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah.
His name is Sean.
What does he look like?
Uh,
What other movies has he been in?
Cruel Intentions.
I can
Sean.
I can find out before you.
Okay, because my phone's gonna die. Sean. All right.
I'm gonna find out in 3. Oh, you're very close.
Sean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sean Patrick. Sean.
Yes. To both.
So it is Sean Patrick. Okay, so it's not Sean
Last
Patrick Flannery. Sean Patrick. What? What? I don't know.
Thomas.
I would not got it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean Patrick Thomas.
Joshua Jackson's in this.
Josh Jackson.
Plays Blaine Tuttle.
Oh.
Who was the other person that you thought was the mom?
Celia Ward, probably not.
No.
Embelak, you know some Celia Ward, don't you? Embelak's a big Celia Ward fan.
I don't know who that is.
She is. You remember the show Sisters? That Swoozie Kurtz, Celia Ward, and
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Wasn't she in some? No, that's
she did something.
She
No,
was.
she's in-
Was she in the Jack Ryan movies?
I wanted to say she's in Fugitive. She's his wife in the
Yes.
Fugitive. Yeah, right.
I knew it was a Harrison Ford movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
What else is she in? I know her.
Sisters. That's it.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
know.
terrific. She's just great. I'm gonna go home. Have Seal Award marathon.
It'll be short. It'll be as long as the Broadchurch season.
15-minute episodes.
Old Celia Ward.
But we decided they were running a little long.
Yeah.
Show them down to 5.
Yeah. They all star Celia Ward and Sean Patrick Thomas. And they both look at each other and go, "What are we doing here?" I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
She's in Gone Girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ew.
She's in Gone Girl as girl who is not gone.
Did you like Gone Girl? I was thinking about revisiting it.
I
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because it took what I thought. I was like, the first half, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then halfway through, it flipped it on its head. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what this is.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Yeah.
now we're making fun of what this is, which is kind of how I took
I'd
it.
have to watch that again.
That's
I
how
didn't get
I
that
took it
far.
as a critique of, which I felt like, I was like, oh, this is how, because the author of the book, Gillian Flynn, co-wrote the script, but then she co-wrote it with Fincher. And so I was like, oh, Fincher took the plot, the boiler, pulpy aspects of it, but then he flipped it and he started making a comment not just about the story within the story itself, but about the nature of those movies in general.
And the fact that he's making it, and he was just like,
He was like, I did it so I could get the money to make a movie and make it my way, and then, but no one knows.
wipe my ass with it, and he's
Yeah.
like this, and he goes, "I could make something better." Not gonna do it. No, I'm just joking. No,
I keep wanting him to make his personal film, and I'm like, he's never gonna do that, because that's never been who he is anyway.
Yeah.
So all I want from him now is to make something that he's genuinely passionate about,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like we've gotten that in a while.
What's up, Vi Tate 9? What's up? I was having trouble with that. Still am. If you were to do Fincher, I feel like we'd have to. And you got to get out of here. But we got to do. We should do. It's like we got to do Fincher, and then we got to do like not lesser Fincher, but like, what the heck was that Fincher? Like we're kind of got like, I really need to revisit.
Benjamin Button.
I kind of almost like don't feel like I need to revisit that.
I don't want to. It's just a bore.
It's too bad.
And it's a noble attempt, but I was just like, it's just hard to tell with him
Yeah.
when he's being earnest about his efforts. Or
Well,
not.
and it's just that with that one. I mean, that one just felt like it was like, all right, I should have an Oscar by now, so let's do it. And
yes.
I
so
just,
it didn't feel genuine in any way.
but I also just go like, there are movies where, and like I like The Social Network, but there are movies where I go, why is Fincher doing this? Like
Even with the Social Network, which I did enjoy, I was just like, this doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
fit.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why are you doing this movie?
Yeah.
And why are you just doing it like a normal movie? Like it just kind of like Social Network is just like, oh, it's kind of dark, like visually dark. That's how I know it's a Fincher film.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then the rest of it, and I like it. It has very good performances.
It's incredibly well directed.
Very good, yeah. But then you watch you go Benjamin Button, and you go like, okay, yeah, it looks like Fincher, but it doesn't feel or sound or why is it? Why is it Fincher? It's like you can put it's like putting a Fincher filter on something.
Yeah, I keep feeling like he's like one of those guys that I'm like.
Dragon Tattoo made more sense.
It did, but it was I was just like you're so above this.
Yeah.
And I just watched that recently, and I keep rewatching that one. That one specifically because I'm like he directed the fuck out of that movie.
Yeah.
But like, I just keep feeling like he like hit 2 in a row with Seven and Fight Club, where I was like, oh, you really care about that shit.
Yeah.
And I just feel like he's just not. It's like he doesn't know what he wants.
Anymore.
Well, no, it's not even that because it's all incredibly well made.
It is great, yeah.
All the way through, everything up till now. It's just, honestly, the thing that I feel like he's been most passionate about wasn't a movie. It was House of Cards. I was like, that feels like a Fincher. I know his favorite movie is All the President's Men. I can feel his enthusiasm.
Is it?
Yes.
My favorite movie.
Like, I know.
I am as good at things as David Fincher is.
That's what I tell everyone who asks about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So nobody.
A lot of people
Just
do.
me.
A lot of people do.
I ask you about me.
A lot of strangers come up to me.
And they go,
like,
what the fuck? You got to get away from that. That is a sinking ship.
He's like, did that guy give you the V? And I go, what?
Yeah.
He's like, Brian V, did he give you the V?
Yeah.
I was like, did he tell you to say that? And then I look over, and there you are.
And I'm going, all I could give her. And you go, gosh darn it. Why?
Like, do you have an audition to go to? Stop!
I need a drink.
The Social Network and Dragon Tattoo are both movies where when they were announced, I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I ended up loving them. I think this is a masterpiece.
It's very, very good.
It's very, I need to revisit it. I need to rewatch it.
I like it.
I only watched it the once, and I walked out, and I was like, that was very well made, and it was really good. Yeah. I want him to find that thing where I'm like, oh, you've been like Zodiac felt to me. When he made Zodiac, I was like, you give a fuck about this.
Totally.
Because he grew up in that area when it was happening. Yeah. And like he cared, and there's just something a little bit different when he cares a lot, and I think that's why I look at Zodiac and I'm like, I think that's my, in terms of like overall, I still think Seven's probably my go-to.
7 is it,
and in terms of rewatchability, but Zodiac to me I think is his best film.
It's so hard to be like, because like 7 is, I'm like, yep, it's my favorite Fincher film.
Yeah, and
it's ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous to say that when my second favorite Fincher film is Fight Club. Yeah. For your second film by anyone to be Fight Club.
Right. Yeah.
Fight Club.
Yeah.
Fight Club is a once-in-a-lifetime movie.
It's a masterpiece. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
And it's a perfect, like people are like, it hasn't aged well. I'm like, it doesn't need to age well. It's a perfect product of male...
What hasn't aged well? What hasn't aged well about it?
It's just a very 90s era movie. And I'm like, well, yeah. And that's but I would also say that it is, and it also... The themes are universal, but like whatever. I was like, yeah, that was made well. But
well, that 90s immigration, immigrant song, yeah.
I mean, he's great. I wish he would have more things like Zodiac and Fight Club. Yeah. And not in terms of like, I think all his movies are good. Just things that
something that lights him up. Yeah.
Because Dragon Tattoo, I was like, you direct the fuck out of that. You're an amazing director. I rewatch it often just to study it.
It's good.
And I'm like, you're so above this material. Like, you're just beyond it completely.
Yeah. But it's weird. I mean, because how do you again, because if you're like 7 is great. 7 is a fantastic script. Fight Club is alchemy.
Yeah.
And how do you follow that up?
With things you care about, like Zodiac.
Yeah, Zodiac is true. You're right. You're right.
People, I remember the first time I saw it, I walked out and I was disappointed because I thought I was getting another 7.
Yeah.
And I revisited it and I was like, oh, this is like I think this is his best movie.
Yeah.
Just because it is so meticulous. And it's such a representation of who he is as a director because it's so obsessive and meticulous.
Yeah.
And you can see that he's not only cares about like the subject matter because he grew up around that area when that was happening, but also the themes of obsessiveness and perfection and trying to working towards everything to the detriment of your health towards an end goal. Like I think he relates to all that. Yeah. And I just think it shows.
Even Panic Room.
Panic Room was
really,
awesome.
Really like Panic Room.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it and going, oh, and then I just had sort of this. I was like, oh, Panic Room is okay. I went back and watched it. I was like, oh, it's great.
It's great.
It's really good.
And it's great because
it's a pot boiler, but
he references Hitchcock.
It's Hitchcock
movies
totally
all the time.
Yeah.
And he's a big Hitchcock guy, so he's like, oh, I can make it my own Hitchcock movie.
And that's what it is.
And it is, and it's awesome.
It's a high-tech Hitchcock. Yeah. What happened to Andrew Kevin Walker? You're at 8mm, and that's it, right?
Yeah, he's finding more of his passion in Netflix series because Mindhunter is awesome. And you can see some of his passion in that.
Yeah.
Mindhunter is great. I'm looking forward to season 2.
So you're watching that? See, gosh, man, I always talk to people and I go, how does anyone have time to watch? And they go, I don't know, man. No one has time. And then like someone goes, you watching this? And you've watched everything. And everyone's watched everything.
I haven't watched barely. I feel like I haven't watched anything.
But you've watched Mindhunter.
Yeah.
You watched Breaking Bad. You've watched all of Game of Thrones.
No.
Okay, never mind. You've watched Chernobyl.
Yeah.
You watched
Chernobyl's only 6 episodes.
All right.
It's very British.
All right. Oh.
I was doing that one because my script I feel like is going to deal with some Fallout shit, and I was just like, I'll be curious to see how they handle it, and they handle it. I thought it was going to be like a horror thing, like a horror series, because that's how they usually. And I was like, oh, this is like a documentation of what happened at Chernobyl, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it's still a horror movie, but
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is all super factual and
Yeah.
very well researched and very well made.
Wow.
And very scary.
Wow. Jeff, you haven't seen it? Watch The Career Memories of Murder. Came out before Zodiac. Very similar movie. Fincher even referenced it. Right. I've heard that.
Ooh, I'm gonna go watch that tonight. See, this is how you watch movies.
Yeah, I don't know.
You go home, and then you don't sleep.
Yeah, but because I go, okay, after this, I have to go do all the things that I need to do, and then I sit in front of the computer and go, screen. And I go,
Yeah. So why can't you just do that in front of a TV?
that's a good point.
Because I'm very similar to you. Like, sometimes like last night, I was like, I need to rewatch Throne of Blood, but I was like, I'm too tired. I don't want to read. Because who's got time for that, you know? I was like, I already watched it. He'll carry me through.
You get one out of me, Kurosawa. One.
And so I just was like, eh. And then I put on something else, and I was like, I'll just fall asleep to this. And then I just fucking watched the entire thing because it was really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Love, Death and Robots is his like heavy metal, right? Yeah, I've heard that's good.
What?
You know the heavy metal, the animated. It's like robots and kind of like it's like boobs.
Is that a cartoon?
Yeah. It's like a
Metalocalypse?
Cartoon.
It's called Heavy Metal?
It's called Heavy Metal. It's a cartoon anthology. Yeah. It's pretty influential.
Is it funny?
I don't know. I've seen bits of it.
Why should I watch it?
I'm not saying you should.
Sell me on it.
Well, it's just something I brought up to reference something.
I know. Sell me on it right now.
So there's boobs in it.
All right, good. That's it. Heavy metal boobs?
Somewhere like, yeah. Robots with boobs. I mean, that's heavy metal is. I thought robots like monsters. It's like an orb, and like and then kid touches the orb and go into a secret place, and it's like different, and everything has the orb. The orb is the unifying thing between
Is it like
all.
an anime?
It's not an anime.
I know it's not.
Because I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I did watch an anime. My brother said, "Come over to my house and watch anime," and I was like, "This feels like a trap, except that you're trapping me with the trap part." So like, if I get there and there's a block of cheese.
Oh, you forgot the lie.
Yeah. No, so I went and watched My Hero Academia.
Getting all this new stuff. Is it good?
It is so like it was everything, like all the issues that I thought I had with anime. had with that. But at the same time, like, I cried several times.
Really?
In like 3 episodes.
You cried based off this?
That's the one. Not based off that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and it's like this thing where like, so you know how some things you watch, it's like most things you watch, most things are like subtle, real, subtle, real, subtle, real, subtle, real, restrained, emotional. And then you go, oh, I've been restrained so long. This emotional thing. I go, yeah. This thing is like, where do you take in sensory information? And I go, my face. And then they go, I'm going to put a fucking bullhorn over your face and I'm going to shoot fireworks into it for 15 minutes. And it's like, everything is like, and I go, oh my gosh, like I was reading subtitles and like my eyes were hurting and I was like, oh gosh, okay, oh gosh, oh my gosh, everything's so exaggerated and crazy. Did that just happen? That happened? That's how they're showing that? What? That, they mean, whoa, okay, oh gosh, huh? And then it goes, emotional moment. And the music rises and the music's really good. And it goes, emotional moment. And the character goes, and something about the performance and the exaggeration of that emotion, I was like, no.
Really? Because usually you don't like, you've told me in the animes, you just...
I'm just going to, because people are going to get mad, so I'm going to go ahead and mute it. Yeah, I don't like it when anything does that. No, it's, yeah, like nothing. Not a single
What'd you just do? I took 2 steps. It's like she said something I didn't like. Yeah. It's raining a lot.
Yeah. There they go. Huh. And then they go, what? Oh, it can't be. No. Like that. But it's still but then like at these emotional moments, they like, it's crazy. So I was saying, like, usually it's like restrained. And like it's like a thing where like if you scream constantly,
and then you go silent,
it just becomes
the norm,
the thing. And then when you change it,
you drop that out
and get earnest, I go, oh, I wasn't ready for that. And then it goes full earnest, and they try, and it's like stuff that I was like, oh, and I cried, like, and I looked over, my brother was crying, and I was like, this is weird, man. We need to not talk about this. No, I was like, I looked over, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, yep, that's good, yeah, it's good, it's good. We're good.
Is it on?
Good. We just went proud. Very proud of you.
Where can I watch it?
Stream dropping? Oh crap! Balls. No. Why? Neon Genesis and Evangelion. The names I can't get over. I'm just like, what? You just made up words and threw them together. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Do you think I would have had the same reaction if I watched it alone? Probably not. Yeah, it is. So when I'm watching it with my brother, who is like, I wanted to stream and talked about how much, I was like, I just don't like anime because of this, and then everyone got really angry. Right. And I was like, oh right, everyone likes anime, and I shouldn't just say I don't like anime because I should lie to people like me.
Well, did you say you don't like anime, or did you proceed to list off all the things that you don't like about it in a very condescending way?
I would say a colorful way.
Yeah. All right.
And again, watch NGE with your brother. I hope you both cry very much.
Where can
Crunchyroll?
I watch all their like stream stuff. Is that on like Prime or Hulu or Netflix or anywhere? Because we started talking about anime the other day because I've been wanting to find something.
Because you're like, watch. what you know what really pisses me off? And then I was like, anime, and then we started talking about it. Sorry, I'm just joking. Just joking.
Yeah, he was like, "What's?" I asked him in like a very casual. I was like, "What's the one thing you hate the most?"
No, someone someone ran. Life. We were walking and someone stabbed him in the leg, and he goes, "Gosh, nothing's worse than this." And I was like, "Actually,
he had a DVD cover just ready to go."
Sorry, go ahead.
is coming, or is that Netflix now? I believe. Okay, cool.
Wait, what? It's like a new. You mean they're doing a new version?
Because I've heard about that, and I got like a.
Is it Evangelion? Evangelion?
I've seen. I had someone give me like the core, like what they considered like some of the core. They gave me Ninja Scroll, and Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh, that'll F you up.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
That
I
was
know that.
super depressing, but really great. And then Ghost in the Shell, and a fourth one that I can't remember. And they were all fantastic, and I really enjoyed them. And so but then I never returned to it. And I was just, and then every once in a while I'll be on Netflix and they have an anime section. I'll go in and I'll try to start something, and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
This is not for me.
We have talked about. By the way, my favorite scene in Grave of the Fireflies is when.
Do you know what this movie's about?
Not at all.
It's about
it's like World War II, but don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me though.
Okay, cool.
Because then I can. But they just go. They're walking around and they go, Where's this grave?
Where's the what?
Where's this grave? Where's this firefly? And it's like right there, and you go like, that's a tiny hole. And you're like, fucking fireflies. And it just goes.
It's just peanut. That was very. You haven't seen it.
Neon Genesis Eclair Evangelion. Okay. Because Neon Genesis Evangelion next week. But we have talked very seriously, and we are going to do it. We're going to do a Kurosawa, Miyazaki.
Dude, maybe we should do that next month.
Yeah. But we also could do.
Let's
here's
talk
the other
about
thing
it
we
off
could
air,
do. Yeah.
Because boy, what a Miyazaki month. I haven't seen.
We're definitely going to do it.
Have you?
No.
Neither one of us have seen any Miyazaki movies at all.
I would love, yeah.
No Studio Ghibli, nothing.
I would love to watch Pokemon.
They're gonna rip you apart.
I know.
Buddy.
I'd love to watch.
We should just do next month. We should just force you to watch
Digimon.
Digibots. Or
yeah.
wait.
GoBots?
Digital
now
monsters.
it's racist.
Yeah,
now
no,
it's now it's just racist.
Digimon.
Digital monsters champions. Don't you think digital monsters just buy us like you buy Pokemon? Come on, you don't have any discernment about what you ask your parents for. You can just buy this like anything else. Just ask your parents for these toys. Do it, you little bastard.
We should do. We're gonna talk about it. All right. We'll have our game plan next week.
Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle.
That would be an awesome month.
Yeah. But what we also thought about doing, because we could do that with months. We got months to go. What's going to happen? Clunk.
It'd be fun to watch.
Because we also going to do.
Like, this was fun because I got to watch new shit.
Yeah. I want to watch new stuff.
So, like, but then if we did next month, what were we talking about for next month?
Because we were talking about next month doing Magnificent Seven, which I've never seen, but is a remake.
I've never seen it.
Is a remake of Seven Samurai. Last Man Standing, which is a remake of Yojimbo. The Roman Polanski Macbeth, which is just a different take on Macbeth. And then
Star Wars.
And then Star Wars, just because whatever. Yeah.
Well, Star Wars is Hidden Fortress, right?
Well, so what we need to do is later
we need to do Hidden Fortress.
Hidden Fortress. We need when we do Hidden Fortress, Ron.
Oh man.
Ikuro.
It's very good. Very emotional.
And
we could do
Dreams.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. That's the one. I think that's.
Yeah.
Oh, but we could do Kajimusha.
Okay.
Good.
You just call it.
I would prefer to do Kajimusha than.
Ikuro? Is it more offensive if I try to say it?
Maybe. No. Well, no. I'm.
And then we're gonna do Tarkovsky. So here's what we do.
But then like Ran and Kajimusha are kind of. Similar.
We do remakes of this, and we do.
More Kurosawa.
We do. Yeah, we could do. We could do Miyazaki. We could go back to Kurosawa, do all those. Then we do remakes of those movies. Then we do Tarkovsky, and then by the end, we're Japanese people. But Tarkovsky's not.
With a Russian. Yeah.
Can you get me to watch this trailer and tell you my impressions?
Would you guys like us to do? I gotta say,
look, it's Reese Witherspoon.
The idea of doing Miyazaki next month.
I know.
Intrigues me.
Me too. Me too, man. But then we just lose the opportunity to. I mean, we could come back to it. I don't know. Hey, it's Totoro. Is Totoro the big?
World, there's an invisible magic circle. There's an inside and an outside. And I'm outside.
Hold on a second. Legendary Studios. Are they still making movies? I mean, is this? Wait, is this? Didn't Miyazaki pass away? Am I crazy? Or he just retired?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
He just retired.
But I think he's retired a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah. All you need to know about anime is that there is an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh where an actor whose name is Jean-Claude Magnum plays a card game with a woman to get her to marry him. Okay. I'm an expert now. Hey, this is Life is Strange. That's my impression. This part will be muted.
Why is it that mansion feels familiar somehow?
It's really best for you to stay away from that old marsh house.
Throw me the rope! Hurry! In my dreams, I saw a girl just like you. I've been here for a long time. I wish that I was you. I can't go very far from the mansion. I need to get back.
This is now a reaction video.
It really is. I just want to help her. Marnie! Promise me something. That will remain a secret forever.
Haley Steinfeld. Kathy Bates? Ellen Burstyn? Hold on a second.
Dude, that looks fucking...
Gina Davis? It does.
Whoa.
Catherine O'Hara? John C. Reilly? Vanessa Williams? It's interesting.
That looks really
That,
good.
that looked good. That looked really good. That looked really good.
All right, we're going to talk about it.
He's not dead, just retired. Julie just banded, basically. What?
Oh, that's a bummer.
Oh, that's so. Wait, was that a Miyazaki, or was that just a
That's
Ghibli? Because there's no Ghibli without Miyazaki, right? All right. I also like when if we're just doing because we could go Kurosawa, Tarkovsky, we could jump into Hitchcock.
I know. I feel like
We need to do like Zucker Brothers.
yeah. So this is why we do what we do.
And what we do is do it. So, yeah. All right, man.
Give me a Sean Connery to walk out on.
Well, all right. See you later, Jeff. I hope the door doesn't hit your ass on the way out. Yeah.
Sean.
Yes. All right. We called the talk, Indiana.
Why did you really do Zardos?
I was lonely. All right. Maro directed The Secret World of Arietti. Oh, yeah. Hiromasa Yonebayashi. You watch Ghibli movies dubbed for the most part. The dub cast are always star. Interesting. Yeah. All right. Hey, it's 12:50. It's 10:56. 10:56? I thought it was 11. Okay. I'm going to. So what I've done before in the past is been like, I'll be right back, and then not come back for 45 minutes. So what I'm going to do is cut, and if I come back, I will. If not, I will see you soon. Thanks, guys, for being here as always. You guys are great. Thank you for those of you who tune in to watch us talk about movies and be ridiculous. It really is a lot of fun for me. And I very much appreciate your being here and giving us people to talk to. Thank you so much. This really is a great movie. It really is a fantastic movie. Kurosawa, if you haven't heard it anywhere, you'll hear it here. He's a very talented director. He's a good egg. He's a master. All right. Love you guys. I will see you tomorrow's Thursday. I think I may be able to drop. I'll talk to my brother. I don't know. I'll see you soon. Lots of love.